Welcome to Nimmin Live, the #1 place on the internet to learn about YouTube, network with other content creators, and have an awesome time doing it. My name is Nick, and today I'm answering your YouTube questions with my brother from the same mother, D. What's going on, D?
We are ants.
What happened?
What?
What happened? What's going on?
Well, that got weird. There was a playback here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
we are answering
unmuted.
We are answering YouTube questions today, and I do apologize for your eardrums. I think I just shattered a bunch of eardrums there.
Yep.
We had something. It was looping in the background.
Oh, okay. So
my apologies for those of you who just ran out of here and clicked. We're off to a great start.
Yeah, right. Everybody's like, "Whoa, what just happened? What just happened?" So we're excited to stream today. Hope that you are ready to learn stuff about YouTube. Hope that you have your notepads ready. And as we kind of get into this today, I do want to let everybody know that today's stream is brought to you by TubeBuddy, which is the #1 tool for YouTube content creators. TubeBuddy will help you optimize your videos for discovery. TubeBuddy will help you test your thumbnails so that you can make sure the thumbnails that you're putting out are effective for the people that you're trying to reach and the traffic sources that you are trying to perform well in. So for example, it'll tell you if your videos are performing well, or that thumbnail performs better in search, or if it performs better on home pages and so on, which is pretty awesome. In addition to that, there's over 90 different tools that you can use with TubeBuddy to help you with your YouTube channel, all different aspects. So for example, for those of you that are going to be dealing with the whole thing about having to go through and change out your links from your YouTube shorts, since YouTube is removing that option, then you can go and just change all your links to, you're going to have to do the link once, but they have a find and replace feature that you can just change that text to check the link in bio. And then that way it just makes everything, a little bit more efficient and so on. But anyway, you can try TubeBuddy for yourself to see what it can do for you at tubebuddy.com/Nimmin. And this stream is co-brought to you by StreamYard, which is the live streaming software that we use to stream this every Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern. And the reason we use StreamYard is because it's super easy. They have amazing coffee cups. In addition to that, they host everything in the cloud, so that when you are live streaming, let's say right now we had a tech problem and everything went down.
We did have a tech problem, but everything did not go down.
Yeah, you're right. Then StreamYard actually holds everything open. So instead of losing the people that are already here, we can just come right back into the stream from our mobile devices or other computers while everything is like coming back on, which is fantastic. But they make it easy to add graphics to the screen, bring guests on. They record your streams in the background.
They just added a new feature.
Yeah, the pausing for the recording.
So now you can record inside of StreamYard and treat it like an actual camera.
Yeah.
So you can record, pause, stop, delete. Oh, I don't like that clip. Going to delete it, record again.
And
awesome
in addition to that, for those of you that are YouTubers, which is pretty much everybody here, they also have something that's really cool. So like right here on my screen, when I'm looking at the chat, when super chats come in, it automatically stars the super chats and puts them into a different panel. So then I can just go there and I can see the super chats there, and I can see them in the order that they came in, which is also pretty cool. But anyway, you can try that for yourself and see all the stuff that StreamYard can do at StreamYard.com. Of course, I've got links to everything, that and a bunch of other helpful tools for you as a content creator down in the description below this stream. For those of you that are hanging out here today, I've got some exciting news for you. So here later in the stream today, we are going to be giving away 2 tickets to Vid Summit. So basically, Daryl Eves was kind enough to give us 2 more tickets to give away. Yeah, in-person tickets, absolutely. Yep.
Can I have one?
Sure. Yeah. So that and one more, right? Yeah. So, but basically with these, it's like there's nothing special that you have to do or anything like that. We're just going to randomly be, picking the people for that using StreamYard's giveaway tool. But we're going to do that, later in the stream today. But I want to let you know, and if you're not familiar with Vid Summit is a conference that's happening in Dallas, Texas, October 3rd through the 5th. It is the #1 conference for content creators. People are speaking there, like Mr. Beast, for example, Mark Rober, Ryan Trahan, myself, Roberto Blake, a lot of the YouTube help channels, but a lot of the content creators that you watch, they go there to share what it is that they know about YouTube. So make sure that you check out the information for that at vidsummit.com as well. And thanks to Daryl for giving us 2 more tickets to give away so far.
That's incredible.
Yeah, so we gave away 2.
Those are like $1,000 each.
$1,000 a piece, right?
$1,000 each. We're giving away 2 today.
Yep.
Randomly.
Last week we gave away 2, and then on the stream on Thursday we gave away I think 2 or 3.
Right.
I know it might have been 3 or 4 actually, and then today we're giving away some as well. So
right now, to be fair, you still have to pay for your transportation. You still have to take care of your hotel.
Yep.
These are tickets to the actual event itself, which are $1,000 a piece.
Yep. And once we get to that part in the stream, there's some other details too, like when we're doing the giveaway. Like I always ask, of course, like only participate in that particular giveaway if you can actually go, things like that as well. But we'll talk about that once we get there. But besides that, though, I'm super excited to get started with the stream today. If this is your first time here, I do want to let you know that the questions that we answer on the stream, we pull them out of the chat occasionally too, like if we see something that's unique or something. But the questions that we answer on the stream are pulled from the form that is linked down in the description below. So if you have a question about what it is that you're doing on YouTube, and it can be about anything, it can be about any of the problems that you're having, feel free to ask those questions in the form in the description. And if you can get your question in there now, then it will get answered on the stream today.
Yeah, first come, first serve.
Yep. So
with started
all of that, let's rock and roll. What do you think? So the first thing says you can't use affiliate links for shorts, but can link to long form videos. This one's from Spunky Boy, and I'm pulling this one directly out of the chat real quick.
Okay.
And absolutely. So basically, how that workflow is going to work for those of you that do affiliate marketing with your YouTube channels is you are going to have 2 different options. 3 different options. One option is to make your short talking about whatever the thing is, tell them that you have more information about that in the video and that they can click on the link that's on the screen to go watch that video, and then you would have the links in the description there. So that's one path. Another path is to just tell them to go to your bio and that link is in your bio, because now we have the creator links on our channels to where we have up to 14 links that if somebody lands on our channel page, they can click right underneath our little blurb that says what our channel's about, and a slide up happens and it'll display all those links. You can see the example of this on my channel if you haven't seen it before. And then the third one is to take one of those links and actually, and this one requires a lot more, skill sets and things like that. But another thing that you could do is you could also build like a website or blog of some kind that also supported the content that you could either mention in the short itself in terms of saying the actual website address. So for example, I have one called bestcreatortools.com. So if I was going to be promoting something there, I could say, you can find that and a bunch of other stuff at bestcreatortools.com. So then you'd be able to send people that way. And then you could also put that link on your channel links as well, so that people can, find everything that you promote and have promoted over time as, time goes on. Because of course, if you promote more than 14 things over the course of a year, then some of those things are going to be falling off over time. But the content itself is still going to be living on YouTube and spreading awareness about that thing, where you could still, be able to generate income from it. So that's definitely, something that you can do, and those are just a few different paths in order to get you there.
Well, we have an unusual question here from Florida Manufactured Home Living. It says, Daryl did express his enjoyment of the unique activities he shared with you as brothers. Mm-hmm. Will D provide any more detail? What was
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, it could just be, I know Daryl's a family man, and I know that, because of that, he likes the bond that D and I have, and he likes, how we, like to hang out with each other, and, he just likes, our relationship and all of that. So, it could just be that.
Daryl's an awesome guy in general.
He is. Yeah.
So Daryl's the one who puts on Vid Summit, and I think Daryl's he's got a good relationship. Good guy. Yeah, he's a good dude. He's got a good relationship with all the creators.
Yeah.
Daryl, just as a side note, he welcomed me into the whole Vid Summit family really early on. And good people, man. Yeah, I don't know if there was a particular story that he's talking about, but it could be that he just, as a family man, he appreciates the bond that we have.
Yep.
He appreciates the bond that Nick thinks we have.
Oh, I love it. So let's get to the form. The very first question that we have here coming from the forum, and again, it's linked down in the description below. So if you are somebody that wants your question answered, make sure you get it in the form that's down in the description. But the first question is from Kids Learn and Grow, and they've been on YouTube for less than a year. They have a children's learning channel, and the goal of the channel says it's just a fun side gig. And the question is, how do I know if I'm uploading too often? In my advanced mode analytics, I select my secondary metric as videos published. The graph is a little confusing though. Can you help me understand it? Thank you. By the way, I've got my play button, 117,000 subscribers.
Awesome.
High five, fist bump to you for 117,000 subscribers and the play button. So when you are looking at that graph, What it is that you are going to see when you have that as your secondary metric is you're going to see like the line for the views that you have on your channel. And then if you select the secondary metric as the video upload so that you can see the cadence that you're uploading, then in that particular case, you're going to see like little spikes when you uploaded the video itself. So, you know, sometimes you can see that reflected, you know, in the actual view counts that you're getting as well. But those little spikes there, that's what it is that they stand for there.
E for Electric. Hey, I think I've seen you guys. So, Daniel, oh snap! Don't talk about play buttons. Yeah, I feel nice. Personally attacked every time somebody
it comes up.
Every time someone comes in and is like, "Hey, I got my play button," I die a little bit inside.
Yeah, me too.
You do? Oh, I bet you do.
Yeah, well, it's just guilt. That's all it is. It's guilt.
Okay, on a scale. Guilt. Okay, on a guilt level of 1 to 10.
So the next question is from Neil over at Urban Van Life. So like
hold on.
20 is the guilt level.
Hold on.
Yeah.
On a guilt level 20. Of 1 to you've wrecked every car I've ever owned.
Yeah.
Where does losing my play button fall?
Yeah, probably more than the cars. Like I feel worse about that one than the cars. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's because I know that, you know, I mean, yes, there's work going into the cars because you got to buy those, but like, you know,
cars
the
are like,
button,
you know, 30 grand.
Right. But when it comes to the play button though, yeah, just, that one.
Yeah,
Just
it was important. It was important.
YouTube and you know, like YouTube is so meaningful to me that it makes me, you know, feel extra bad about the play button.
Yeah.
But Neil Urban Van Life is the next question here. So they have the goal of the channel is to educate and to entertain. The question is, should we get our channel name copyrighted as we now find ourselves in a position where someone has started an urban van life festival in the UK? Trademarked. Yeah. Same name, but different logo. But as we spend a lot of time working on building a brand, should we trademark the name so others cannot use it? I'm very annoyed about the festival name and need to take action, but where do I even start? Well, should we copyright our channel names to future-proof us against things like this?
Yeah, I can just chime in here a little bit. So what you want is you want to trademark your name. Mm-hmm. However, people can use your name in different industries. The fact that you're not running a festival with your name might actually allow them to run a festival with your name. I would check with the lawyer on that. But you can definitely protect your name in terms of people doing what you're doing with your name. Like
for example, if there was like an urban van life that was selling coffee cups, and then you have a YouTube channel that's actually restoring vans, then you're actually going after two different markets or essentially two different markets. Therefore, they're not really competing with each other. Is that what you're saying?
Right. And it's not right. It's also not causing market confusion. But I'd recommend, you know, a quick phone call with the lawyer because if it's a festival that's focusing on van life, maybe that could cause some confusion there. So you might have some grounds on that. But I would definitely talk with a lawyer. You want to look into a trademark, but just be warned, filing a trademark and actually getting that trademark can take some time. So this isn't something that I would put off if it's important to you.
Design Burst says that they do interior design content. The goal of the channel is to provide valuable content that educates, inspires viewers on the principles of interior design. The question is, our interior design channel began in June of 2023. After 1 month, we started receiving views, and as of now, we have 10 videos and 695 subscribers. Good start. Yeah. Says, I wanted to ask if it's normal for views on YouTube to plateau at some point. Is changing the thumbnail and title effective in increasing views? Do you have any recommendations? So first, absolutely, thumbnails and titles can be very effective in helping you get more views, only if people respond to it better, right? So basically, the whole idea when it comes to updating your thumbnail and title is your thumbnail and title create an expectation for the viewer. So if you see something, like let's say you're looking on your mobile device and you see a thumbnail and a title from one of my videos, and before you click on it, you're going to be like, oh, okay, well, this is probably what Nick's talking about, or maybe this is what I'm going to learn from Nick or whatever. So because of that, when you click into it, you're going to already have an expectation of what it is that you might get in the video. Now, if I don't deliver on that, then of course you're going to leave the video relatively quickly. But if as you're coming into the video, you're like, oh yeah, this is great. This is exactly what I expected. This is the information I need right now, so on and so forth. Then you're going to be more committed to the actual content itself because it's delivering on what you expected, right? So when it comes to the thumbnail and title, when you change it, it changes that expectation. It also changes the way that it grabs attention, and it kind of changes the story of what that video might be about from the outside. So the whole idea is when you do make those changes to your thumbnail and or title is it changes that expectation. So people can respond better to it. They can respond in a similar way, or of course they can also respond worse as well. So it's not always about like, hey, if I make this change, it automatically means the video is going to do better. It all depends on how viewers respond to the changes that you've made. So if, this is where like when you do a tweak on a thumbnail and or title, we'll just call it the packaging, altogether. This is where, doing something that's like, different is a way better call than like maybe just tweaking like a color or, something like that. Like sometimes you'll see on Facebook and Reddit and places like that where people get feedback on their thumbnails where they'll be like, hey, should I use this thumbnail or this thumbnail? And it's pretty much the same exact thing. Maybe there's just like one little tiny, detail about it. Those types of things, like you'll usually end up with a very similar result. But if it changes the message of the video, that's where, you can usually see a big difference, either, in a positive or negative way.
Alex did not know about my play button.
Alex, what's up, man? Yeah, it's probably just not something that's discussed.
He's been hanging out with us.
Yeah.
For how long?
For like 10 days now or 9 days now. Yeah.
Alex, Alex, we're going to have to meet up over mojitos or something, and I'm going to tell you the entire story of the play button.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's rough, man. I'll probably shed some tears.
Yeah. So genealogy with Amy Johnson Crow. She does genealogy and family history content. The goal of the channel is to encourage people to explore their family history and to grow my business. The question is it true that even if you select mid-roll ads to be in your video, YouTube won't show them to every viewer? That's correct.
Yep.
So a couple things to think about is when it comes to mid-roll ads in your videos, premium users aren't going to see them anyway. But when it comes to viewers of YouTube, so for those of you that are not using premium right now, for example,
they just raised their rates on premium.
Yeah, no, it's up to like $20 now or something like that. Yeah,
premium just raised. Okay, everybody's been raising their rates.
Yeah,
Spotify, everybody's been going up, and I'm just like, okay, I'm not really feeling that one. Or not. Premium raised their rates quite a bit, but that's the only one I didn't flinch.
Yeah,
I was just,
me too.
I'll pay it.
Yeah, I'll take it.
I'll take it.
Right.
Yeah.
So that I can sit there and like listen to music, watch videos without interruption. It's
And again, they're not paying me to say this. People love to say, "Oh, you're shilling for YouTube."
Right.
YouTube Premium is hands down the best subscription you're ever going to buy.
Yep.
Hands down. Being able to consume content on YouTube with no interruptions.
Yep. Especially if you like using it for music too. Like that's great.
Man. Yeah. Okay.
Hey, Renee is on Wi-Fi.
Oh, hey, Renee.
On a 6-hour flight. So see y'all next week. Hey man, have a safe flight. Thank you for swinging by. Hope that you enjoy your travels wherever it is you are.
Let's try to figure this out. Renee's leaving out of Canada. He's on a 6-hour flight.
Yeah.
He's either going someplace like Florida in the United States, or he's going somewhere in Latin America, possibly Mexico, out of Canada, or maybe he's flying to Europe.
Listen to D sounding like a seasoned traveler.
Renee, you got to tell us, man, where are you heading, Renee? You got to let us know.
Oh, love it. So
where in the world is Renee?
Yeah, Mark says, YouTube Premium changes your life. I can't say it enough, so worth it. Yeah,
totally worth it.
But
hey, Mark, how's it going, man?
So let's see here. So is it true? Yeah. So basically back to the ads thing. So in addition to having premium users that aren't going to see those, you also have ad tolerance for viewers. So basically YouTube, they know when is a time to show ads to viewers when they're most likely going to respond, in a not as negative way to them compared to, just flooding them with ads. So sometimes, the system makes a mistake. A lot. They make a mistake. But one of the things they try to do, because they want to keep people on YouTube, and they know that, somebody goes and they watch, they click into something and they go buy something from an ad, that, it's possible they might have lost that viewer for the day or for a while or whatever. So, because of that, all of that stuff is optimized, for the viewer so that, the ads that they are seeing are ads that they're likely to respond to, but also so that they're not hitting them with so many ads that it becomes annoying and makes them want to leave the platform. So because of that, the whole, idea is that, every viewer, and of course it's going to be depend on the length of it and everything, but every viewer might not see an ad coming into your video. Every viewer's, or they're not going to, every viewer's not going to see ads, during the mid-rolls and all of that as well. Great question, though.
Yeah.
So next up on our list, We're on number 5 already, cruising through. Again, if you're just joining us, if you have a question about what it is that you're doing on YouTube, there's a form down in the description below. This is all, free thanks to our sponsors, TubeBuddy and StreamYard. So if you have a question, definitely make sure that you put it in the form that's linked down in the description. But the next channel is called the Dream Builder 21. They do daily content. It's an automotive channel. The goal of the channel is to entertain people and distract them from their day. The question is, do you know of any online communities for content creators that are free? Absolutely, I do. So, man, this is a good one because there's like a big list. So let me give you some of the core ones. So you have Brian G. Johnson's Tube Ritual group on Facebook, so just look for Tube Ritual there. You have Creators Helping Creators on Facebook, which is Daryl Eves' group. It used to be called Video Makers and Marketers. We have one called YouTube and Video Tips. Jessica Hatch has one, and I can't remember the name of that one off the top of my head, but it's also a really good one. She manages that one like really well, but I can't remember the name of it. Cody Warner has one called No Small Creators, is the name of his. But yeah, Tom Nash also has one. His is called YouTube Creators, I believe. For his, it's also managed very well, so I definitely recommend that one also. So that's just Facebook. And then from there, if you go over to Reddit, you have YTubers, which is ours. It's not very active, but if somebody asks a specific question in there, I'll hop in there from time to time. I post news there, stuff like that. You also have our YouTubers. You have NewTubers over there as well. Keep in mind when it comes to the NewTubers one and the YTuber, the YouTubers, both of those. And there's also like ones for gamers and all of that as well. But keep in mind, like a lot of times, people are posting things in there, and you have a lot of people that are in there giving feedback that don't really know, like what's going on yet and things like that. So some of it's kind of messy, but on all of those, experienced people, also hang out in there as well. So those are also, good solutions for that. And then of course you also want to follow all of the YouTube educators on Twitter as well, because, everybody shares information there from time to time, if not on a regular basis. And there's also some Discords also, like Neil just put in here about Dusty Porter's Discord, but I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head.
Dusty's great.
Yeah. But there's also, some Discords around that as well. So maybe I should build a page for those. That's probably something I should do. Yes, then that way you send people to that page. Yeah, for all the communities.
For trusted communities.
Yeah.
Because there's some really scammy ones out there too, where people are just trying to get you into sub to sub or trying to get you to download things. Yeah, you got to be careful.
Yeah.
It's a great idea.
So next up on the list, we've got...
Oh, Andrew Can's got the Can Do community.
Oh, yeah, Andrew Can. Yep, that's his. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I should have actually said that one first for Discord. Yep. So, yeah, you have Andrew's Can Do. You've got, let's see here.
Doug says Colin and Samir has a Discord.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Ed over at Film Booth has a Discord.
Yep.
Yeah, Dusty's is called, but I think YouTube Creators Hub, I think that one might be Patreon ran. I can't remember, but I'm in that one too. But yeah, so that should get you started anyway. And then, if I make a resource for that, then I'll let you guys know. Roger Wakefield in the house. What's up, dude? Hope that you are doing fantastic today.
Hey, Roger. How you doing, buddy?
Brad, Magic Flying Potato. Hope you're doing great. Nikki, Little Crafty Nook. Hope you're doing awesome as well. So let's see here. So next up on our list, we've got Engineer Your Life. Says they upload when they have time. They've been on YouTube for less than a year. The type of channel is tech, business, and finance. And the goal of the channel is to help primarily business owners and entrepreneurs streamline and automate their businesses and lives while hopefully doing it full time. And the question is, I started the channel this year, haven't been able to be consistent, but I have seen pretty positive view results and have about 925 subs. To date, I've focused on one of my buckets, a side hustle, and I'd now like to start focusing on another, the more focal, which is tech. Any thoughts? Or just post videos and see how it goes? Also, I've done a poll around this and I've only gotten 2 votes. Should I try to be focused on community and live stream already or not yet? So I would definitely start, putting the other, content, of the other buckets that you're going to do. I would definitely put those out there. For the live stream, you can try it. I mean, there's not anything negative with giving it a shot and seeing, how many people show up. But with your channel, I would definitely schedule it in advance so that there's enough time for the people that are interacting with your content to be presented to that and then click the notify button if they choose to see it. Also, since you don't regularly stream on your YouTube channel, Another thing that you might want to do is make a trailer. So it doesn't have to be anything, fancy or anything like that. It can just be you sitting there talking, letting people know what it is that you're going to be talking about in the stream and why they should join the stream, and then invite them to click the notify me button. And then if they do that, when you go live, then YouTube is, of course, going to recommend it to them if they're on YouTube, but then also they're going to get an email as well knowing that that you went live. So because of that, just make sure that you do take those extra steps to just give yourself, that extra opportunity for more people to show up to the stream.
I'm curious, because you were talking about communities earlier. I'm curious, how many people in here use Telegram?
Hey, and while you're doing that, I need to step away really quick.
Yeah. I'm curious. I don't have access to the forum. I don't have this up. I should have had that ready. Yeah, I'm curious. How many people use Telegram? I've joined a couple of forums or a couple of communities recently for music and that sort of thing, and they do it on Telegram. If you use Telegram and you're using it for forums, type in Telegram in the chat. I'm curious how many people in here actually use that. I'm not a big fan of Discord, but as I've been using Telegram a lot more, it just seems it's a lot easier to actually organize things over on Telegram. So I'm curious, and I don't have access to the question. So if somebody can ask a question before Nick gets back, I will take something out of the chat. That's right. Give this stream a thumbs up if you haven't done so already. Thank you so much. Discord stinks. Hey Jerry, how you doing? Yeah, I never got into Discord. We tried. Discord's just not my thing. But Telegram, I don't know, something about Telegram. I really like it. Let's see what we have going on here. Let's see what we have. This question out of the chat from The Villain. It says, how do I know to make a good video? I have ideas, but I don't know how to edit, and I have a small budget. What should I do? Okay, that's a great question. It sounds like you're just getting started on YouTube, so welcome to YouTube. Here's the thing. You do not need a big budget. You don't need any budget to do YouTube. If you have a phone, that's all you need to get started. If you have some janky laptop, that's all you need to get started. On my channel, which you probably have linked down in the description, I hope, or maybe you're on my channel. So you found me on my channel. So my entire channel is to help people on their phone. So here's how you come up with good video ideas, right? Here's how you come up with some good video ideas. Go into YouTube and go find the channels that are similar to the ones that you want to make. Go look at the top channels and look at what type of content they're making to give you some ideas. You can also use Google or YouTube as a search and go into the actual search bar up there and start typing in some video ideas, and you're going to see that it populates that search bar with different ideas. People are actually looking for those things. I don't know what type of content you want to make, but another thing you can do is just think like the audience, think like a viewer. Whatever your niche might be, think about, okay, if I were to be interested in this niche, what type of videos would I want to see as a viewer? And then just make those videos. And nobody knows how to edit at first. We all suck at editing. We all suck at coming up with titles. We all suck at coming up with video ideas. We all suck at coming up with making good thumbnails.
Facts.
We all suck at everything when we start, but you just have to push through that and keep going. The more you do it, you're going to get better. Promise.
Facts,
yo.
Yep.
We just finished season 5 of Breaking Bad again.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Nice.
Just thinking of Jesse.
Nice.
Yo.
Nice.
He says that a lot.
NZ Wonderland is our next question. They do daily content. They have a gaming channel. The goal of the channel is to share my gameplays and earn as well. The question is, how can we improve our revenue so that we can hit every month with $100? We have 113,000 subs, and we're mostly uploading short videos. Start doing long-form content. So in addition to the shorts that you're uploading, which is clearly working for growing your subscriber count, shorts are, at this moment in time, notorious for not being very high producing in terms of ad revenue unless you are just getting crushed with views over there. So because of that, if you are wanting to increase the amount that you're getting from ad revenue, I would definitely start trying your hand at long form content as well. It's a totally different game, but if you were able to make shorts that people responded to enough that got you to 113,000 subscribers, then hopefully that will teach you the potential that you have to where you can say, okay, if I can do that, then I can definitely do this long form thing as well. Because the win with the long form content is you just make more money per ad view there. So because of that, I would start doing long form content if possible, or if you are just trying to hit that threshold of $100 every month, figure out for your channel, for your type of content, for the audience that is interacting with your content, figure out exactly the amount of views that you typically need to to hit in order to do that, and then just do everything you can to hit those requirements in order to hit that threshold every single month.
For those of you joining us, if you're wondering how we select questions, every now and then we'll pull something out of the chat, but most of them are coming from a form that's linked down in the description below. It is first come, first serve. So get down there and put your question in there. We will do our best to get through all of them.
Yeah.
Can't guarantee we're going to get through all of them, but we're going to do our best to get through all of them.
Yeah, as we stand right now, if you get your question in there, it should get answered today.
Okay, there you go.
Carson Rocks 35. They do daily content. It's a gaming channel as well. The goal of the channel is to bring joy and entertainment. The question is, I've tried a couple different intro styles. For example, clips and then 10 seconds, welcome to this series, then start. Clips while I intro, so audio overlay, just an intro. My main struggle is average view duration and my starting hook to keep them in. How would you go about this problem? Keep experimenting with what it is that you're doing. Go through your current content library and look to see if there's anything that you've done in the past that has held people, you know, a little bit longer in the beginning that maybe you didn't notice, you know, because maybe you just weren't focused on it at that point in time or whatever. But one thing I do want to let you know is that when videos typically, you know, start, having some kind of drop is a normal thing. But the goal for us as content creators is we need to, you know, notice like, okay, where can we stop this drop? Where can we stop people leaving the videos? And then, you know, it's often through, you know, how you're hooking them. So the thing that tends to work well is just letting people know like, hey, this is what we're doing in the video, and just telling them, hey, this is what's going on. And then of course, since you're doing, I think, gaming content, yeah. So basically, in your particular case, it's like, hey, you know, in this particular game, I'm going to show you how to do this in the game, so that you don't have to waste hours and hours doing it yourself. The very first thing that you want to do is X, right? So basically, you just want to get into the content itself. When it comes to, you know, because you said you do your clips and then like a 10-second welcome to the series, I wouldn't even do that part. Like, just get them into the content, and then once they're into the content and they're committed there, then that's where you might want to say, oh, hey, by the way, you know, my name is Nick, and you know, I put out gaming videos like this, you know, every you know, Monday. So if you're enjoying this, you know, remember to subscribe, or you know, something like that. But the idea is to, you know, front load it with the actual content, and then save some of that stuff for later while you're working on, you know, getting people into, you know, the video better and improving your audience retention. Because sometimes it's that stuff in the beginning that can cause people to leave. So for example, and you can see this in your audience retention, and see if this is the case for you. But basically, like if they come in and they're expecting something, and then you have 10 seconds where you are, you know, talking about something else, or talking about like yourself or something that just isn't related to, you know, what's going on, then in that particular case, you know, that can definitely cause people to abandon the video. But what you're doing though, just to be clear, experimenting, trying different things, you know, and going through that process, you're on the right path. But also make sure that you test things across multiple videos as well, because sometimes just like one video isn't enough. Like when you notice that, hey, I did this and it seems to grab somebody's attention and they stuck around for a little bit longer, then in that case, try it again on another video before you're like, hey, I'm going to fully commit to this. Just try it again on another video. Make sure that it was that and not just the interest in the topic and things like that that cause people to stick. Next up on the list here, we've got No People, No Problems.
That's what I'm talking about.
And the goal of the channel
I'm subscribing. I don't even know what your channel's about, but I hope it's that.
Yeah, the goal of the channel is teaching simple lifestyle and to monetize. The question is, why in the end of the world, some of my videos
in the end of the world
has only,
here.
yeah, it's clever.
I'm here for it.
Yep, has only 65 views and some 1,500. Same content, same scenario, and same place. Thank you for everything you do for us small creators. So what happens is with every video that you publish, people are going to respond differently. Some people are going to see it first, whereas, you know, the other video that you published, some people are going to see that one, you know, first as well. How they, you know, come into the video, what exactly is being promised in the video, what it is that you're showing in the thumbnails, how it is that you're writing your titles, all of these things impact the viewer's perception of your video, right, or their experience of your video. In addition to that, how they respond once they get into the video content itself is also going to be a major factor in how many more people are going to see that video. So when you first publish your content on YouTube, one of the things that happens is YouTube shows your content to this core group of people that are the most likely to interact and enjoy that video at that moment in time, because YouTube's goal is to serve viewers content that they're most likely to enjoy at any given moment in time. So that's what happens when you first publish, is it goes to those people first that are almost guaranteed feed to enjoy, to be interested in that video. Then if you can get them to click, that's one step. And then once they click, if you can get them to enjoy the content and watch it for a while, then that's a great sign to YouTube that people are enjoying that. And then from there, if they happen to like the video or maybe subscribe to the channel, or maybe they click on your channel page and go and watch a bunch more videos, things like that, then YouTube also detects all of that activity, and they use all of that to gauge how people are enjoying the content. So with those types of things factored in, people are just responding to some of your content in a different way than they are to some of some of the other content. That's why some of the videos have 65 views and some have 1,500, because they just didn't respond to them in exactly the same way. And even if they did, another humongous factor is very large. And another factor is that not only when you publish videos on YouTube are you competing with other people in your space and everything that's happening on YouTube at that moment in time, but you're also competing with like other content of other types that YouTube thinks that your audience might be interested in. So what happens is when you publish your video, maybe, for one of the videos, you had in terms of how it was performing, you were doing well against videos for a while. And then maybe for that other video that you published, it's got 65 views. Maybe right now it's just a little bit more competitive, at that time that you publish that video. But one thing, just to ease your mind here, that I do want you to know, and this doesn't always happen, but it does happen, is when you publish videos and you do have scenarios where it's like, hey, I got this video with 65 views on it, or even this one with 1,500, it's possible that 3 months from now or 6 months from now, that YouTube might find the right audience for those, that everything matches up, with their expectations, and it creates a great experience for that particular type of viewer. And once they find that, and then they find others on the platform that are similar, and they start presenting your content to them, it's possible that those videos can also end up doing substantially better down the road as well. So when you first publish a video, if it doesn't do awesome out of the gate, that doesn't always mean that it's just always going to stay there. Sometimes it does, right? If people start responding to it, but the fact that you have one that's at 1,500 shows that you do have potential for, that other one as well. There's also one more factor that I want to bring to your attention also, and then we'll move on to another question. But the other factor is where the views are actually coming from for that content. So, for example, if you go into your traffic sources for each one of those videos, you might find that the one that had 1,500 views, maybe the views mostly came from YouTube's homepage. Or maybe most of those views came from suggestions where you were getting recommended as the next up spot next to another video on the platform. Or maybe those views ended up coming from YouTube search, whereas the other one, maybe it was only getting like a handful of views from suggested because people didn't respond to it on home pages, and the way that it was optimized didn't really end up getting it to show up in search in any capacity. So it's those types of things that make it to where everything's different, every time.
You got some super chats. You got one from iFun Chris. Thanks,
iFun Chris, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it there.
And you got another one from Demons Row.
Demons Row, appreciate it. Thank you, man. Says, here's a little tip, brothers. Your advice last week helped. I took an interview and broke it into 4 10-minute videos as a series and made the intro more documentary style. I just passed 300K and made $1,000 off the YouTube shorts. Support these brothers. High five and fist bump to you for making those moves, making the changes, and doing the thing. Yeah, nice work on that. Love it. Absolutely love it.
That's awesome.
So next up on the list here, we've got we did No People, No Problems.
I love that name.
So we got My Village Has No Elders.
Hold on, you looked at their channel. Is that like a homesteading channel or like a survivalist channel?
Which one? The No Problems?
Yeah.
When did I look at it?
Oh, didn't you look?
Just now? No.
Oh, I thought you
no.
looked. Okay, yeah.
No.
I'm hoping that they live out in the middle. Like, I don't know, maybe they live in Alaska.
Well, their thing is about a simple lifestyle.
Okay.
That was part of what the channel is, so I'm guessing it's something like that.
I hope they're in a compound in Alaska.
Yeah. Just living it up, right?
Yeah.
Just hanging out with nature and just kind of chilling out. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to track your channel down when we're done here. Don't let me down.
The Village Has No Elders is our next channel. They upload 1 time per week or more. It's a mental health channel. The goal of the channel is mental health awareness. And the question is, even when a video does really well, it doesn't turn into subscribers. And so that was more of a statement. So when when people aren't subscribing to your YouTube channel, either one, you're not being very good about, just making it clear what it is that you offer on the channel in terms of expressing your value proposition in some way. This can definitely be, impactful in terms of your viewer to subscriber conversion on your YouTube channel. So one thing that can be helpful with that is just letting people know somewhere in the content. And of course, you want to think about this based on how far people typically watch your content. But one thing that you can do in your content is try to find a place where you can do it in a non-interruptive way, where you let people know, hey, if you are, dealing with some of these issues, you just so you know, I publish videos like this every week, or 2 videos like this every week, or 3 videos like this every week. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss anything. Or I've got, an entire channel filled with this type of content. So make sure you subscribe so you can watch more of it. But putting those little calls to action are, it's definitely something that is helpful for causing more people to subscribe to the YouTube channel. You also have like graphics that you can put on the screen and things like that. But the call to action is great for people that maybe are kind of sort of listening to where maybe they won't see that graphic. For all the people that sit there and like watch their phones while they're watching TV and, those types of things, making it audible is definitely something, that you'd want to consider in that particular situation.
Got a new channel member?
Coach Cherry, welcome to the Nimminati. Make sure when you get the chance that you go to nimminvip.com. That's going to redirect you to our members only Facebook group if that's something that you're interested in. So make sure that you go there when you get the chance and fill out that information. And if you can do that, then we can get you added there when the stream is over today.
Were we just playing footsies on
We were. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, on hitting the button there.
I didn't realize you were hitting that too. I was like, man, it's not sticking.
Right.
That's so funny.
So really quick, Jerry Pop Andrea has another super chat here. Says, Nick, make a short eating the spiciest high street food while giving the best intermediate YouTube advice you can think of. Oh, I love it. I love it. A friend of mine, he actually, he has a silent channel that he makes where he's not talking or anything, but he actually records like street food. That's like one of his, that's one of the things that he does.
The spiciest Thai street food.
Yeah, I don't even know what that would be because I don't eat Thai food.
I don't know. I told you the story about my girlfriend in Mexico.
I'm not sure if you did. Let's hear it.
Okay, I'll tell you a quick story. Speaking of spicy food, my girlfriend, she's Chinese, right? Mm-hmm. Eats anything. Anything. Will eat anything.
Oh, you did tell me about
the
this.
Spiciest food. It doesn't even matter. She'll eat it. We're in Mexico. This is before the world shut down. We're in Mexico, and we're at this like festival thing going on, and these people are at this little food thing, and we're talking to this Mexican guy who's speaking English, and he's just like, hey, you want some of this, whatever? He's like, it's really spicy. She's like, no, I'm Chinese, I can eat anything. He's like, oh, are you sure? It's really spicy. And she's like, no. She's like, trust me, I can handle it. Within like 2 minutes, she was literally crying. She was bawling her eyes out in tears. He warned her. He was like, no, this is more spicy than Chinese. Trust me. She was like, no, you trust me.
That's awesome.
2 minutes, she's bawling her eyes out.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
absolutely love it.
She was like a little girl who lost her doll, crying, just bawling her eyes out from.
Oh man!
And it was just the tiniest little chili too. Tiny little chili.
That's funny.
Yeah, I still rub that in every time we get a chance. Where she's like, yeah, make it spicy. I'm like, careful.
Jeff, etc. They upload 1 time per week or more. They have a travel channel. The goal of the channel is to show different places in the Philippines, or even if giving a chance, or even if giving a change to any country. The question is, what is the best way to gain views, upload, or premiere? Whichever one people respond to. So when you do a premiere, people get to come in there and they get to participate while it's live. Essentially, you get to interact with them and things like that. But if you premiere every piece of content that you put out, then it becomes just a way that you publish your videos, and it kind of reduces the impact of the premiere, right? Or the purpose of the premiere. So because of that, since you are doing travel content, if you have something that you've been teasing for a while and it's like a big deal and you're like, hey, I got this thing coming up, this big, video I'm working on, you guys are going to love it, and you just keep building it up, then that's a great opportunity to, do a premiere. If you are just publishing a piece of content that is just like, all the other content that you publish on your channel, then in that case, you can do premieres if you want to. But, it's going to be similar in terms of, how people are going to respond, just like the actual upload itself. So because of that, it's not like, oh, well, if you do a premiere, you're guaranteed to get more views, or if you do an upload, you're guaranteed to get more views. At the end of the day, you want to think about long-term performance on the platform. So if people respond positively long-term, then that video will do well. If they don't, then of course, obviously, then in that case, it wouldn't.
So there's three comments came in after that. One of them says, "LOL, poor girl." Then you got another one comes in and says, "She got a life lesson,"
right? Little perspective switch.
Yeah, a little perspective switch there, and then you got the real one here. It says, "D was just laughing. He slept on the couch that night." Yeah, Mark knows what's up. Yeah, it was a very long, lonely, silent night for me. Yeah.
The Villain XH says they upload to YouTube 1 time per week or more. The type of channel is gaming, but I do Mr. Beast type videos. The goal of the channel is to make a sustainable income. And the question is, how do I know how to make a good video? I have ideas, but I don't know how to edit, and I have a small budget. What should I do? Okay, go watch Hayden Hellier-Smith. Go watch him. He actually edits for some of the largest content creators on YouTube, Logan Paul specifically, as well as a few others. I recommend that you watch him. You're going to learn a ton about editing. In addition to that, you also want to practice the art of editing videos. So, just be mindful when you first get started on this path of being a content creator. There's going to be a lot of things that you have to learn, right? A lot of firsts that you're going to have to do. There's also going to be things that you're going to need to start exploring as you discover, new information. So for example, now to go watch Hayden, Hellier-Smith. He's going to, teach you a lot of concepts about editing, and you need to, watch a lot of his videos, and maybe in some cases even watch them, over again, so that you can make sure that, everything that he's saying is sinking in. In addition to that, depending on how far you want to go, you can also look into like, how do you make motion graphics, how to use After Effects, and you can start looking into those sorts of things as well. But just embrace the fact that, when you start publishing videos, if you don't know how to do any of this stuff yet, the first videos, they might do well, they might be okay, and you might be able to innately put something together that people respond to. But the experience that most content creators have is when they first start publishing videos, they don't get like an amazing response right out of the gate, because they've never made anything before that people have to respond to, or at least not a video before that they've had to make in a way that people respond to. So when you make videos for YouTube, it's a lot different than if you were to put together like, hey, let's edit this video of our wedding, or hey, let's edit this video of a family vacation. It's a totally different thing, because when it comes to YouTube, you have to edit for retention. So you have to make sure that you're giving the viewers what it is that they want. You have to make sure that the pacing is right, and that like all the elements in the videos, that everything complements the video and the viewer experience. You have to make sure that you're interrupting the viewers from time to time, so that you can kind of pull their attention back into the content. Like there's all kinds of things like that you need to do. You'll learn a ton if you just watch Hayden. But the idea is just to embrace where you're at, which is like, I'm new at this, right? And instead of, I know a lot of people look at that like, oh, this is like I suck at this or whatever. But instead of looking at that perspective, just look at it like, hey, I'm new at this, and all I have to do is learn it. That's it. So instead of, being frustrated by it, or instead of, being hard on myself, just look at it as like, hey, this is just something I'm going to learn. So I'm just going to go through the process of learning that. If it takes me, 3 months to kind of hit my stride, that's cool. If it takes me 6 months to hit my stride, I'm cool with that too, depending on, how fast you learn and how you apply it, and all of that. So, but when it comes to, not knowing how to make a good video, another thing to do as well is also watch a lot of the popular content on YouTube, and watch content that's in your genre, so that you can understand, for high performing content, how people respond to what it is that, the type of content you make. Also watch content that is not in your genre as well. And the reason that you want to do that is because you're going to see things that, different types of, content creators do, that you might be inspired by, to where it's like, oh, I love how they start their video with this, or I love how they, kind of, do this particular thing in their video to kind of shake the video up a little bit, to kind of break up the monotony of what's going on in that video, and then they re-engage people after that. But the idea is to just watch a lot of content, so that you can also high performing content, so that you can get to better understand the nuances of what good content is.
Yeah, when it comes to editing, if you're starting at zero, you have the additional layer of, you have to learn the software or app that you're using on top of it.
Yep.
I'll say this. Don't be overwhelmed by all the features that come inside of the app or the software that you're using. Just think about bare bone cuts. Don't worry about anything fancy starting out. Just worrying about, how can I trim the fat off of this video, right? I recorded a video, maybe it's 10 minutes long. How can I trim the fat off of this video? That would be step one, right? I've got this video, how to trim the fat to shrink it down, how to take out all the awkward pauses and the silences, and to get rid of my ums and my ahs and all the things that you need to get rid of. Understand that you're starting at a place where you're not going to be competitive with people who are experienced editors, so you have to be okay with that. And the best way to do it is just to start editing. And it's painful. It's painful. It can take a really long time to learn how to edit, and an even longer time to learn how to edit.
You can learn how to edit quick,
but to keep people watching.
Good.
Yeah. Right. You can learn how to technically edit quickly, but to learn how to edit in a way that keeps people watching, man, it's something everyone in here still struggles with. I don't care where you're at on the journey. Yep. You know, I'm sure, you know, even who's the top creator on the platform now? Is it still Mr. Beast?
I think so, yeah. In terms of the individual
creator. Yeah. I'm sure that there's, you know, him and his editors, I'm sure they're constantly analyzing every single aspect of a video still to make sure that they maximize every moment of the actual video itself. And that's what he's talking about with Hayden. Hayden gives some really interesting perspective on how they do things with Logan Paul.
Yeah, he gets into like psychology and all kinds of stuff. It's really interesting.
Yeah, I think it's a little overkill for someone just starting out. However, it's good just to
start ingesting that stuff.
Yeah, start ingesting it. Understand that's more advanced editing, but it's good to start ingesting that now. So when you are at that level, it makes more sense.
Yep. And really quick, Melinda Elliott says, I got monetized 10 days ago. Thank you for all the help, Nick and D.
Way to go.
I didn't think it would happen because I know anything. Still don't know much. So high five, fist bump to you. Congratulations for getting monetized and getting into the partner program. Love it.
Yep. Way to go.
Yep. Love those messages when they come in.
Yep. Kind of super chat.
Maria Lynn says, let's see here. Hey, Nick and D. Hey. What's going on? Hope you're doing great. Says, I just started YouTube in sewing and making. Sewing and making, but I'm nearly twice the age of most content creators. Does age matter when starting out? Thank you both, all of you.
Okay. Right? Question. How old?
Hold on. Travis MVP in the house. What's up, my dude? Hope that you're doing fantastic.
Question
nice to see you in here, my man. Hope that you are doing great.
Travis said, and Mariah, we're going to get back to you.
We're going to get back to you in just a second.
It says, what's the fastest way to get canceled? Thank you for your answer. I could say some stuff right now.
Yeah, let's get back to Mariah. Yeah, Travis, we'll come back to that one, Travis.
If you truly want to get canceled, I got some stuff.
Yeah, D can work it out.
Yeah, I guarantee between the two of us, we can figure it out.
Yeah.
And if you want me to, I'll get on a plane. We'll come hang out and we'll make it happen. Guaranteed, Travis. Like, matter of fact, if you'd like to hire me, Travis, I can guarantee
professional brainstormer for canceling.
Full social media canceled. Every account, every channel. People you know will get canceled. People who owe you money will get canceled.
But back to Maria, really quick. So when it comes to age, what were you going to say, D? Because I cut you off on that one.
Well, I was just going to ask. I was going to ask everybody, how old were you when you started YouTube? I was curious. Yeah, to type into the chat. How old were you when you started YouTube?
Yep.
I was, I think, in my mid 40s. What? Maybe 45-ish.
I think so. Maybe.
Yeah, I was around 45, give or take, when I started YouTube.
Yeah.
On this channel.
Yep.
So let's see what we have. Oh, Roger Wakefield. Roger Wakefield started at 54.
Nice.
Homekeeping channel says I'm 54, started at 52.
Yeah, I think Brian G started in his 50s as well.
Creator Classroom, late 40s. Right? So no, it's not too old.
Yeah. So when it comes to
Shark Scrapper was 63.
Nice.
What?
Yeah. So when it comes to
I didn't know you were
when
63.
it comes to age, here's something that I want you to think about. So you, as somebody that's watching other YouTube videos, when you're watching content, there's going to be, some people that you resonate with, and there's going to be other people that you don't really resonate much with. I'm going to guess that there's probably some content from people that are, like very young, that when you watch their content, you're just like, yeah, I just don't get it. It's just not my thing. Right. And it's because, they're making content for like that, demographic of people. When it comes to, someone like yourself or, us or, people that are, not, kids, then in that particular case, just remember that there are going to be people, some of them will be kids, but, there's also going to be a lot of people in like your age group and, older people as well that will watch your content and that will respond to your content. On YouTube, there's actually on social media, just in general, there's older people. And by older people, I mean like 70s, 80s that are crushing on YouTube. They're crushing on Facebook. They're crushing on TikTok. They're crushing on Instagram Reels. So it's more about about the value you provide and how you provide that value than it is about your age. So because of that, please do not let your age get in the way. I almost didn't start my channel either because, at that point in time, I was in my 30s and I thought to myself, which, some people might be like, oh, your 30s, you were a baby, right? But when it comes to that, like, I almost didn't start it because in my 30s, I was like, yeah, this is more of a kid's game. I'm probably not like, probably going to get like some weird response or whatever. I had the same exact feelings that you're having right now. But instead, if I wouldn't have done that, then I wouldn't have had all the amazing experiences that I've had. So, because of that, I recommend that you don't look at it as a hurdle and understand that your audience is out there for you. You just have to make the right content and package it in the way that those people can identify it. And also that once they come into the content, that you deliver the content in a way that's appropriate for whoever it is that you're trying to reach. So for example, if you're trying to reach like a younger group of people, then in that case, you might need to do things a little bit differently in terms of how you package up your content, how you edit your videos to hold their attention, things like that. But if you're going for like an older group of people, then in that particular case, you might want to slow things down a little bit. When you are putting your thumbnails together, you always want to focus on just like clarity and making things simple. But maybe you even, add a little bit more emphasis to something in terms of like, hey, I have the option here to focus on this thing or put a bunch of other supporting things around it to make it just really easy. I'm just going to, easy for other people to understand what they're going to get with this video. I'm going to, just focus on, since you're doing sewing, I'm going to focus on like the thing that I'm sewing or the particular thing that I'm going to be sharing with people. So to answer your question, succinctly, that's the long answer. No, you are not, too old for YouTube. Age does not matter when starting out. YouTube, how the system works. And this is another important part as well, because this kind of, takes the opinion side out and just like gives you facts on how the system works. So one of the amazing things about YouTube, and a lot of these platforms, really, it's not just YouTube, but one of the amazing things about, all of this, social media video content is once these systems understand the people that respond to your content, then it's awesome, because then what happens is they'll test your content against other people, but they understand who the perfect viewer is because based on how they respond to what it is that you're doing. So once they understand that, their system crawls through the system, and it's like, okay, so we've got, people that are watching, other videos like this that are also watching, similar videos to this person or to this content. So let's show it to them also. So what ends up happening is the people that do respond to your content, YouTube goes out and finds more of those people and presents your content to more of those people. So because of that, age and all of that is not an issue when it comes to YouTube.
So Neil dropped a super chat. He says, looking at all the ages, including mine, I feel like this could be the most fun retirement home ever.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Right? I was thinking about the other day.
All going to, everybody in our generation, right? We're going to be in retirement homes someday, hopefully. And we're
playing video games.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about some cool stuff.
Yep, playing video games, making music, right? Like doing all kinds of fun stuff.
Right.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Yeah. Hey, guys, hey, I'll come over there with my walker. Yeah. My knees are just not going to be there.
Where's my play button?
Yeah.
Oh,
Nick,
man.
where's my Where's my damn play button, Nick? Who wants to do a live stream? Come on over.
We're getting ready to go live.
Roger, come here, buddy. We're going to go live on YouTube. We're going to... So first of all, I just want to say I'm absolutely amazed at how many people in here are over 40 when they started their. Probably 80% of the people, 90% who actually put in an age were over 40. Nice. That is incredible, especially to those of you in your 60s and 70s who were chiming in. Yep. That's incredible.
So Home Rapid Repair, thanks for the super chat, says, thanks, Nick. We're now in the YouTube Partner Program. In addition to weekly videos, first off, congratulations for getting into the Partner Program. Says, in addition to weekly videos, we're going to start live streams to answer home improvement questions. Thanks for all you do. Yeah, I think it's a good win, because then that way, you've got, you're already in the Partner Program. You're putting out, regular video content, and then you're adding the live streams to it as a means to, answer questions directly, kind of like we do here. So I think that's a fantastic move.
You got some channel members come in.
Yep, Maria Lynn and official Tim Tech. First off, welcome to the Nimminati. Welcome to the channel membership. And make sure when you get the chance that you go to nimminvip.com. That's going to redirect you to our members-only Facebook group if that's something that you're interested in. All you have to do is once you get there, just fill out the information. It's about your YouTube channel and when you joined and stuff like that. It's how I verify that you're a member. And then if you can do that sometime before the stream is over today, then I'll get you in there once the stream is complete today.
Roberto Blake in the house.
Roberto Blake in the house. What's up, Roberto?
Roberto says creators over 30 and 40 may not get as big. In many cases, they can may not get as big, but in many cases, they can earn money and have longevity with a buying audience.
Yep, and by buying audience, what he means is like people that are willing to purchase things.
Yeah. But you might get big, too.
You might get big, too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there are some monster channels out there with older people.
So the next question is from Us Plus Dad. Us Plus Dad does daily content. The type of channel is Roblox Roleplay. And the goal of the channel is to create an interactive Roblox community. The question is, we're crushing it with shorts, about to hit 30,000 subscribers. We want to start making more long form to supplement into our daily shorts. Should we create 3 to 5 minute videos at first and ease into longer 12 to 15 videos in the future? Can't wait to see you at Vid Summit. Awesome. Glad that you're going to Vid Summit. Looking forward to seeing you there as well. So when it comes to the videos, try one of the longer videos. Like if you can, keep people engaged in your shorts and the value that you're providing is enough that people are like, yeah, we're subscribing to this, we want more. Then in that particular case, you might already be fine with, putting together longer videos. So if that's something that you're interested in and you're trying to work to that point, first thing I would do is like, hey, let's just try one and see how people respond to it. Maybe try 2 or 3 and see how people respond to it. Because the win when it comes to longer videos is if you do have people coming in and they do watch for a longer period of time, YouTube loves that watch time. So because of that, it is advantageous in some cases to make longer videos. But if you're like, you know what, we're used to making the shorter content and it's going to be a leap in terms of the amount of time that it takes us to put together like a 12 to 15 minute video. So let's practice our video editing skills. Let's get our workflow together. Let's, learn our system in terms of our, like where we're storing any video graphics or B-roll or where we're getting B-roll, all those things that go with the workflow of video editing. Let's get all that stuff together on videos that are like 3 to 5 minutes long. And then once we get that system put together where we can put together videos in a, time that we find reasonable, then in that case, let's see if we can push it. Because one thing that is really interesting to me on YouTube, and this happens a lot across just tons of channels, is it's interesting that sometimes you can make a 3 to 5 minute video and people will watch half. And then you make a 12 to 15 minute video and people watch half. And then you make a 20 minute video and people watch half. And then you go back to a 3 minute video like, man, if I can get them watching half of a 20, then they're definitely watching like 100% of the 3 minute video.
But it doesn't work that way.
And they watch half.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, and it's like, that
is so weird.
So definitely experiment with it. But if you want to, work on the workflow side of it and all that stuff, then I'd recommend, the shorter videos to go. But also when it comes to deciding the length of your videos, keep in mind that, there is advantages to, longer videos. Like, for example, if it's over 8 minutes, you can add mid-roll ads, which can increase your ad revenue, those types of things. But when it comes to, the video length, just make sure that you are making the videos as long as they need to be, right? So don't add a bunch of stuff to them just to add fluff. In fact, I just made a community post that I think everybody here should read through. It's you saying what annoys you about YouTube videos. So basically, I just made it on my community feed. And I'm like, what annoys you about, making or about, when you're watching other YouTubers? And there's a lot of really interesting comments in there about, some of the things that, are rubbing people the wrong way. So as content creators, you might find that as a valuable resource in terms of, looking out for things, not to do. So, I would definitely check that out as well when you get the chance. Paul Peck in the house. What's up, dude? Hope you are fantastic.
Paul Peck. What's your number one pet peeve? About,
mine?
Not just about YouTube videos, not yours, but you're watching a video as a viewer. What's your pet peeve?
If it takes too long to get into the content.
It takes too long to get into the content.
Yeah, that's mine.
Yeah.
When I click on it, because for example, like if I'm working, for example, I'll turn my phone notifications off. I turn it down so I don't see the notifications come in. I take my watch off so I can focus and stuff. If I'm like, okay, I'm trying to solve this problem while I'm, sitting here. So I'm going to watch a YouTube video about it real quick. It drives me nuts when I'm sitting there watching the video and then
3 minutes later.
Yeah. I'm like, come on. Are we getting into this? I'm sitting there hitting the 10-second, skip button. I'm like, come on. I'm trying to figure this out. So, for me, that's the thing that, that gets me.
Yeah. So yeah, what I would recommend everybody do in the chat is think about the things that annoy you and make sure you don't do those things in your videos.
Yeah.
So I've made that mistake before. I've had a lot of videos, especially when I was starting. I would just go on and do all talk about all this other stuff. And because of that, my audience retention was a disaster, right? Just like a free fall at the beginning because people were not there for all that other stuff. The more I cut that out, the better that became. But yeah, so that's my biggest pet peeve also, is it taking way too long to get into the content that I clicked for. And then the second thing, and this is YouTube related specifically, so I have other channels that I foolishly didn't connect under my brand account. So I have to watch them without premium, and I'm not paying for premium on additional channels.
Right.
So if I have that on and I'm trying to listen to music or something like that, and you'll have like let's say you're listening to whatever, maybe I'm listening to like a podcast video and just chill, or I'm listening to some chill music and they run an ad and the volume is like 100 times higher than the YouTube thing.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Yeah.
So those are my two pet peeves.
Yeah.
One of them's creator based, one of them YouTube based.
So next up on the list here, we're on number 14 already. So if you are just joining us, we're pulling the questions from the form that is down in the description. So make sure that if you have a question, make sure you put it down on the form.
Oh, you know what the third thing is that drives me crazy?
What's that?
All the people making thumbnails trying to copy Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
That's just a pet peeve.
I mean,
I get it.
understand it.
I
Right?
get
because
it.
success leaves clues. So it's like, hey, if this
I
is
know.
working,
I
then
get it.
let me try it.
I get it, but at some point, you're just like, come on.
There's a threshold.
There's a threshold. Yeah.
Travis says, we learned the other week that Nick apparently can't drive very well. I'm not sure what happened there.
You wrecked all my cars.
Oh,
we talked about
yeah. So, but let me tell you something. I am perfectly suited for Thailand traffic, though.
Okay.
Like
hold
in
on.
the U.S.
Hold on.
Nope. But here, let me tell you something. Like, I was born to drive here. Yeah, it's great.
Okay. Full disclosure, he wrecked, I think, all but one of my cars. But here, he's an absolute legend on the roads.
Yeah.
It is chaos here on the roads.
He's like, hey, watch out. I'm like, I seen it. Hey, watch out over there. I saw it.
No, he is an absolute legend driving in Asia. So Thailand is number 3 in the world for road casualties.
Yeah.
Number 3 in the entire world for road
and
casualties.
And it changes. Sometimes it's number 2. Like, it goes back and forth.
So that just to paint a picture of how crazy it is. And he drives like a boss over here.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I was just in the wrong environment. That's all I was. I was in the wrong place.
You're in the wrong place.
Yep.
Like
Yep,
sidewalks. Yeah. What do you mean I can't drive on sidewalks?
Right. It's nonsense.
In Asia,
right?
you can.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Wrong country. You were born in the wrong country. Yeah.
So Liz Bianca is my design Sherpa. Is the name of the channel. The type of channel is home design. The goal of the channel is to guide homeowners through the design and build process with the confidence of a pro. And the question is, I upload unlisted videos to share with design clients on my channel since it's an easy way to share large files. Will the unlisted videos list going to hurt my analytics? No. If it's unlisted, then it's fine. The only things that you get, that you're accountable for is your public videos. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you are violating copyright law or you're uploading, something that's not appropriate for YouTube or something like that, then they'll still flag you there with unlisted videos or private videos. But when it comes to it impacting your analytics, it's only public videos that are impacted. Another thing to keep in mind, though, is when it comes to, it's your clients. They're probably watching your channel anyway. But I was going to say, I'm not sure how many people you're sending these videos to, but if it's a lot, and those are the core people subscribing to your YouTube channel, then in that particular case, if they're not watching and interacting with the content, then in that case, that could be negative because YouTube might present it to them at least a few times. So because of that, that might work against you. But in terms of it, hurting the overall performance of the channel, if you have other people watching it, then you're perfectly fine.
So we have 2 comments. So whale shark emoji says, "Hey D, is Nick the reason why Thailand is number 3 in road casualties?"
That's funny.
So here's another question. So you drive a car now, and you're really good at driving a car here. How many motorcycle accidents did you have before getting your car?
So a lot, but the first 3.
How many do you think?
I'm not sure. The first, I actually, here in Chiang Mai, I think I had...
No. Just total in Thailand.
I am. So the first 3 months I was here, I had 1 per month.
Yeah.
Because I was looking at the motorbikes like they were toys, which they are not.
A motorbike accident per month.
Yeah, for the first 3 months.
Just let this sink in for a second.
So I had that. And then from there, I think I might have had like 1 more in that city. And then up here, I had 1... right outside of the condo that I was staying in.
Yeah.
And then I had one where a car ran into me. I was just sitting there,
Yeah,
and they ran into me.
Of course, it was the car's fault. Of course, yeah.
But then there was that one too, because that would count. So I think, I guess that was what I had my fingers, but I wasn't really counting.
10 motorbike accidents?
Probably like 6 or 7, maybe.
Total.
Yeah.
Total.
Yes.
Okay, not bad.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad
So
at all.
6
I think you've been in more motorbike accidents than I have.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe. Yeah, it's possible.
So next up.
But nothing in a car.
Yeah. Yet. Yeah. So next up, we've got Suburban Acreage. They upload 1 time per week or more. The type of channel is DIY tips and tricks, how-to tutorials, and tool reviews surrounding home ownership and maintaining it. The goal is to share information and knowledge with others while making some money. And the question is, I was watching your older streams and kept hearing the term series playlist. I can't find this feature, and I'm thinking it's not a thing anymore. Can you confirm that the series playlist is old news? And what are some current quick tips for maximizing the effectiveness of playlists? So these things have been kind of coming and going for a while. They're supposed to take them out. I'm actually going to go look and confirm, because I stopped talking about them because YouTube had talked about removing them. And I'm honestly not sure, because I just stopped because I'm like, well, this is like a risky thing. So therefore, I'm not going to do series, anymore. But it is possible that it's still in here. I'm going to just double check here really quick. I'm going to go into my AI tools for YouTubers, and yeah, it looks like that particular feature is now out of here. So as of, whenever they officially removed it, now, the playlist options are extremely limited. Good question. I needed to look into that anyway, so thank you for that.
Motive Music says, "Oh jeepers, that's too many accidents on a motorbike. That's cat level lives."
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, it is.
And then Creative Mind says, in all capitals, "What is the story behind moving to Thailand?" Question mark. Well, Nick had to find a country that wouldn't extradite him to the U.S.
That's funny.
And no, it's just he came over to visit me.
Yep.
Who found a country that wouldn't extradite him. And no, it's a cool country.
Yeah, it's cool.
Totally
It's
different.
just an
It's
awesome
chill.
place. Like Alex, me for electric. He was in here earlier. He just moved here, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, this is amazing." Yeah, like
it's fun. It's different.
Yeah, he moved here from California, and he's like, "Yeah, this is incredible."
Yeah.
Like he's loving it too.
Totally
but yeah,
different lifestyle.
Yeah,
man.
it's one of those things. Like it's either like you're like, if you come here like vacation or something, it's like something that you're like, "Oh yeah, this is amazing," or it's like, "Oh, I got to get out of here." It's like it's like one or the other. So I was one of the people that, like, when I came over, I was like, "Wow, this is absolutely incredible." So that's what was me here. And then for D, he was just over here because he had that ability, to be able to work from anywhere.
I was here because I could be here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Suburban Acreage is the next channel. They do DIY tips and tricks, how-to tutorials, and tool reviews surrounding home ownership and maintaining it. The goal of the channel is to share information and knowledge with others while making some money. And the question is, I was watching your older streams. Oh, we did this one already. Sorry about that. Next up, we're on number 16. We've got Square Table Degenerates. What's going on, man? Hope you're doing great. Says they do entertainment content. The goal of the channel is to have fun, interview celebrities, and make some money. The question is, if the shorts, is the shorts pay rate going to go up anytime soon, or will the entire platform be shorts in 3 to 4 years? YouTube is not the same the past 8 months-ish. So when it comes to shorts, keep in mind that, one, people are watching, for an extremely limited amount of time just based on the nature of the content. Therefore, I'm sure that's impacting ad rates there just anyway. Also, when it comes to YouTube shorts, it's primarily like younger people, that sort of thing as well. Also, when it comes to YouTube shorts, keep in mind that it is something that's fairly new. So I do expect that, rates will go up at least a little bit sometime in the future, but I don't know how much. So because of that, if you are on YouTube for the sake of making money, especially with them stripping links out of the short shelf, in that case, I would recommend that even if you're a shorts creator, if you're doing this for money, unless the type of content that you're making is getting crushed on views and shorts that makes it worth it, I would start supplementing some of that with long form content as well, and learn the craft or art or whatever it is that you want to, however it is you want to frame it,
the dark arts
for making long form content that people respond to.
The dark arts of long form content.
Yep, the dark arts. Yep. Yeah. Let's see here. So next up,
hold on.
17.
Amazing Yacht says 7 years in Thailand. I've only had 2 accidents so far.
Nice.
Thailand did good. Thailand traffic is not that bad. I'm gonna go on. I'm gonna guess because there's a yacht destination. You're probably like in Phuket or Krabi or something like that. Just guessing. Hua Hin maybe. I don't know. I'm going to respectfully disagree with the traffic.
What did he say about the traffic?
He said traffic's not that bad.
Oh, yeah. It depends on where you're at.
Yeah.
It's usually not that bad up here either.
Yeah, where we're at now,
north,
it's not bad.
Yeah, it's usually not that bad up here. It just depends on the day, the time of day, that you go out and run around.
Yeah.
But let's see here. So the next question that we have on our list is from Trying to Learn Bikes. Trying to Learn Bikes. They have been on YouTube here for. Let's see. They upload when they have time. They've been on YouTube for less than a year. They have motorcycle maintenance channel. The goal of the channel is to help fellow bikers perform DIY maintenance. And the question is it considered poor practice to use the same title as a similar video on the same topic from another channel? They're a large channel with many subs. I make similar content topic-wise, but don't want to come off as copying their ideas. Thanks for your insightful thoughts in advance. Cheers. So when it comes to taking titles from other content creators, if you can come up with something unique, definitely do it. But if it's something that people are actively searching for, and that's a way that you can help people identify that your content is what it is that they're looking for, then in that particular case, using that keyword phrase in your title or making your title specifically that phrase, that's perfectly fine. When it comes to somebody making something extremely unique, people will still steal it. That's just how it works, unfortunately. People will still steal it. But if you can think like, okay, is there a variation that I could do of that? Is there a way that maybe I can open up a thesaurus and find, some word replacements or something like that, run it through ChatGPT or something and see if, there's another way that, you might be able to phrase, something similar. You might want to give that a shot instead, just so that it is something, that's a little bit different. But, in terms of content creators being inspired by other content creators, I mean, that happens all the time. Some people, they're inspired by it to where they'll take it and they'll try to modify it in some ways. Other people, they just steal it to where it's like, hey, this is a great title, I'm taking it. One common thing that, that everybody recommends content creators do, and I recommend this also, is if you look in other niches and like while you're just a user on YouTube, while you're interacting with YouTube as a viewer, if you are, getting served content and you're like, wow, that's a really good title, screenshot it, right? And think to yourself like, hey, one, why do I think it's a good title? Two, is there any variation of this that I might be able to do? Or is there a way that I can apply this to what it is that I'm doing? And then over time, when you start collecting a lot of those screenshots, or if you just take a note on it, whatever, then in that particular case, it gives you a lot of, I don't know if fodder is the right word, but it gives you a lot of, information about one, what you think good titles are. And two, it also gives you a lot of ideas to be inspired by when it comes time to, write your titles when you're thinking about your own video ideas.
So quick question, unrelated. So Pixie Dust, go ahead.
I was just going to say, and really quick, because I mentioned the notepad thing, just as a quick reminder, I just want to remind everybody, just in case you haven't been, introduced to this yet, there is a tool called Tube Spanner. That is a browser extension for YouTube. It's also like a website where you can make like, scripts for your videos and things like that. But with that particular browser extension, it allows you to take notes on content. So if you have not used Tube Spanner before, one, I definitely make sure you check it out at tubespanner.com. But when it comes to taking notes on other content, if you're watching YouTube as a viewer on a computer, it's great for having a notepad open to where you can say like, oh, I like how they did this intro, or to where you can just kind of keep those ideas and just kind of sketch them out. But anyway, you can find that at tubespanner.com on their browser extension. It has a notepad, and you can take notes on any video on YouTube, and it attaches the timestamps, and you can either download them, or if you go back to that video, the timestamps are there. So it's a really awesome tool. So just make sure that you check that out if you haven't yet.
Pixie Dust Traveler says, Nick, what is your favorite thing about Thailand? Without giving it thought. Yeah.
I think just the general lifestyle, like things are just more relaxed here. Like, things can be intense here too, like when it comes to traffic and stuff like that. But just like the day to day, like people, like I would say 99% of the interactions that I have are just like positive and just like relaxed and like, and all of that. The people just in general are, extremely friendly as well. And which, helps for that particular experience. But I would say just the lifestyle overall is the big draw for me. In addition to that, things are, considerably cheaper here than they are in the States as well, which is a win. But the real thing for me though is just the, the overall lifestyle. And like one thing thing that I always think about is, like, am I, and this is kind of like a self-check that I do, but like with the day-to-day experience that I'm having, is it something that I'm enjoying? And here, the answer is almost always yes. So, for me, it's that. And then of course, my brother D, because he's here too. Unless he's stuck in Mexico. Of course.
I'm glad you put that last.
Then in that particular case,
glad you put that last. Yeah, my favorite thing would be the lifestyle as well. It's just really laid back. Now, look, if you visited here and you come to like the heart of the tourist areas,
it's going to seem pretty intense.
It's got it might not seem
jarring.
that way. Yeah, it's jarring. But like once you get settled in and you're not in one of those high intense tourist areas. Yeah, it's really laid back, and they've got an attitude here. Besides being incredibly friendly and helpful, nobody really cares what you do.
Yeah,
like I can go.
There's a phrase for it. Yeah.
It's like you go to 7-Eleven at like 11 p.m. and there's like multiple people in there in their pajamas who just like walked up to 7-Eleven in their pajamas.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Yeah. Nobody cares what your politics. Well, when it comes to voting times, people care about your politics.
Yeah.
But
for local politics.
For local, But nobody cares about your religion. Nobody cares what your sexuality is. Nobody cares about. They just let you do whatever it is that you need to do, and just get out of your way.
Yeah.
And it's a hands-off society.
Yeah.
And I like that.
Yeah, and everybody's not trying to control everybody else. And
it's a hands-off society, and personal responsibility. It goes a long way.
Yep.
It's not a nanny state.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's going to tell you no. Nobody's going to stop.
And other details, right? Like this is something that that people don't really think of, but like without beating on this horse too much, like like not one time have I driven past a parked police car that's sitting on the side of the road radaring people.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah, I mean, they probably should.
Ever. Yeah, they should. but they don't, right? Like never. Like not one time the entire time that I've been here have I driven past a parked police car that has some type of quota that they're trying to meet, and because of that, they're sitting there, clocking drivers. But again, they're number 3 right now on road casualties. Yeah. But the those types of things also are just non-existent here. So for me, that's what I mean in terms of the lifestyles. Like, there's just not a lot to worry about. Like, as long as you're not out there causing problems, the likelihood of you getting problems, like you're not going to run into much. Yeah. So
if you don't look for it, it's probably not going to happen.
Right.
The city that we're in, you can leave, and I've done this. You can put your phone on it. You can go to Starbucks, put your phone, put your laptop on the table, and you can go do something for an hour and come back, and it's still going to be on the table.
Yeah.
We live in an incredibly safe city in terms of that. Yep. It's just chill, man. It's really chill.
Yep.
Not all cities are equal in terms of that chill, but where we're at is incredibly chill. And
some things they do is they do set up like checkpoints so that they can
drunk driving.
Yeah, for like drunk driving and stuff. They do that kind of stuff. But in terms of like we are trying to meet quotas, and we're trying to make sure that we're flagging people and stuff like that. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah. And again, I'm really big on the personal responsibility side.
Yeah, me too.
Like, I don't want somebody, you can't do that, you can't go there, you can't do this. Don't just like, hey man, here's life.
Right. Good luck.
Good luck.
Don't hurt yourself.
Yeah. That's what. Yeah, like that's the mindset, and so I love that, but at the same time, it creates some danger sometimes.
Yeah, it does.
Here's life. Good luck.
Yep.
Yeah. There's no railings over there. Careful. Right. Yeah.
Creative Mind says need to get a passport. You do. Like, like if you haven't been out, especially if you're in America, if you haven't been out of the country, you definitely need to get a passport. Just because, like once you get out and you start seeing stuff, it really changes the way that you view what's actually happening, what's happening back there. So yeah, I definitely recommend that you do.
Yeah. So Aperture Movement says, okay, YouTube convinced me of moving. YouTube convinced me I'm moving to Thailand. Oh, so here's this one too. As a woman traveling alone, Thailand made me feel extremely safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. It's not without its problems.
Sure.
It's not without some level of issue.
Humans exist here.
Humans exist here. Right. A lot of crimes are actually committed by foreigners too. Some of the islands have had some issues, but generally speaking, it's incredibly safe.
Yeah.
Generally speaking. Yeah.
Quacked Up History is our next question here. They upload when they have time. They've been on YouTube for less than a year. They do educational and entertaining content. The goal of the channel is to tell stories of history using rubber ducks. That's clever. I want to educate in a fun way. And the question is, What is click rate and what number should I aim?
Hey, that's a very virtual studio.
Oh.
No, this is all real.
Yeah.
This is all real.
So, yeah, we can touch the.
Yeah,
touch
this is
the
all
walls.
real. This is all real.
So what your click-through rate is YouTube is showing your content to people. So as an example, if you are let's imagine that you either open up YouTube on a computer or a TV, YouTube's homepage on a computer or a TV, or in your mobile feed. What's going to happen is you're going to start, as you start scrolling and as you start looking around, you're going to see a bunch of, videos there, right? So what that is called is YouTube is showing those videos to people, but that's called an impression. So your click-through rate is how good you are at getting people to click per the amount of people that YouTube is showing your content to. So the goal that you want to try to get is, of course, you want to make your click-through rate, you want to get as high of a click-through rate as possible for a lot of impressions. What typically happens, not always, but what typically happens is when you publish a video on YouTube, the people that, in terms of how the system works, it goes to people that are most likely to engage in the content. So because of that, your metrics are usually higher when your video first gets published because those people are the perfect fit for your type of content. And then from there, things can start falling apart a little bit. So with the more impressions that you get, or how, when YouTube's showing your content to a lot more people, it becomes increasingly more difficult to maintain a high click-through rate because there's a lot more people seeing it that are not an ideal fit for that content. So because of that, what you have to do is you have to start figuring out like what normal looks like or average looks like for your channel so that you can be like, hey, I'm this far in, it's been on YouTube for this many days. I've got this many impressions. This is drastically underperforming in terms of click-through rate compared to what it is that I average on my channel. Then that lets you know like, hey, maybe I might want to, change something about how this is packaged up in terms of the thumbnail or title. When it comes to what it is that you should aim for, on YouTube, the average is between 2 and 10%, but YouTube doesn't give us any impression information about where that 2 and 10% comes from. So one thing that you're going to see is a lot of content creators, when they're not getting a lot of activity on their videos, they'll be like, hey, what's going on? I have a really high average view duration. My click-through rate is like 10%, whatever. So what's happening there is, again, when you don't have a lot of activity, the people that are seeing it and interacting with it are that ideal fit, so it keeps everything high. But when you start getting into like hundreds of thousands of impressions or millions of impressions, that's where everything starts becoming a lot more difficult to maintain those higher numbers. But if you can maintain a higher audience retention and a higher click-through rate, as well as other engagement metrics, then in that particular case, that video is probably going to do pretty well. But click-through rate can make a huge impact on your video. So just as an example, the video that I just published on the AI backgrounds, if you saw that video, let me know here. But basically that particular video, and I've got tons of examples like this of, across, a bunch of different types of channels, but that particular video, the click-through rate on it was so high and it maintained such a high click-through rate, and the retention was just absolute garbage on that particular video compared to what it is that I normally get in terms of the drop off there. But I had a little bit of skipping around, and that skipping around does cause also can cause like bigger moments later in the video that can also kind of help everything get more impressions on it. But in that particular case, I had a period of time to where the thumbnail was doing like okay, but it wasn't that great. I changed it before we did a live stream. It started picking up steam. Click-through rate, went up considerably. And then from there, as I continued to get more impressions and more people continued interacting with it, my click-through rate actually went up as I was getting more impressions. And then it ended up, kind of stalling out in terms of the click-through rate, but the impressions continued to rise. And as the impressions continue to rise on it, I still maintained like a good click-through rate for a long period of time, and it's still that way. So, so in that particular case, the thing that's holding that entire video together is it's an interesting video. Topically, it's a popular topic in terms of just all the AI stuff. So a little bit of trend jacking there, so to speak. But the click-through rate in that particular video is carrying a lot of weight in that particular scenario. But there's also other things. So like some of the people, a decent amount of them, once they get to the end of the video, they're clicking into the playlist that I have there to see some other AI tools and things like that. So there's a lot of other variables as well. But the click-through rate in that particular scenario, it's carrying a lot of weight. And then another thing with that as well is it's not just the click-through rate on the thumbnail itself in terms of, was it the thumbnail? There's the thumbnail, but then there's also the auto preview. And in that particular video, the auto preview is pretty awesome because you see everything like changing around me and all that. So it's just interesting to look at. So when it comes to your click-through rate, it's just one element, but it is an important element because when it comes to your click-through rate, if you can't get like you can have the best video in the world, but if you can't get anybody to click on it, then nobody's going to see that video. They're not going to know how awesome it is. But if you can get like a competitive amount of people clicking on that video, and it's an amazing video, and like your click-through rate doesn't have to be the best, but if it's like okay, I'm competing here in terms of being able to get people to click on this, and then you have a great viewer experience for them in terms of the viewers being satisfied by the actual video content itself, then that's like that's like that video is probably going to do well, right? So because of that, just figure out what your averages are on your channel, across your content, so that you can identify when you're underperforming, and then outside of there, just do the best that you can to try to build up some type of good expectation for the viewer. Use your thumbnail to help them identify what the content might be about and how so that they can know if it's something that matters to them or not, and then from there focus also a lot on the video content. But one of the things with YouTube is it's not just one thing, right? Because it'd be easy to game if it was just one thing. It's an accumulation of things, and you got to nail it on all of those things. And sometimes if you don't nail it on one, the other might carry the weight and so on. Hey Matt, what's going on, man? Welcome to the stream. Let's see here. So next up, we're on number 19 now. This one is from Horton Paranormal. Horton Paranormal says they have a reaction channel. The goal of the channel is to entertain others and myself. The question is, how would you tag your videos for a paranormal reaction video? I wouldn't focus too hard on the tags. Like I would definitely add like, paranormal. I would hop on TubeBuddy and I would start putting in like paranormal into their keyword explorer. You can find out more about TubeBuddy, down in the description, of course, or just go to tubebuddy.com, whatever. But you'd put, paranormal in there, put in anything, if it's related to like, if there's ghosts in there, then in that case, maybe you want to put ghosts in there if that's something that you're going to be talking about in the video. But basically, you want to say, okay, this is what the video is about, and if I'm going to be adding tags into this box, which you should, until they remove the feature. If I'm going to be adding tags into this box, then let me just add tags that are relevant to this video. That's why if you go ahead and write your title out, you use TubeBuddy, their tag generator will start giving you some suggestions on what you can use there, and then you can also use their keyword explorer before you even make the video to start figuring out how it is that you're going to optimize that video for people and other ways that people might be looking for that type of content. Next up, we've got Lavished is the next channel. They've been making videos for a year or more. They do luxury lifestyle pet combo niche. That's cool. The goal of the channel is to generate quality content while making large profits as a business. And the question is, I need a partner who is well known to mentor me and keep me in check. I'm ready to go bog or go home. I've been successful in my career and I need to generate profits for my son and to overcome my circumstances. I'll give a percentage to a solid accountability partner with good morals and ethics. So when it comes to things like this, in terms of like people like partnering, for the channel, there are people, that do that sort of thing. But in most capacities, like if you are trying to do something like that from like a mentor standpoint, there's all kinds of, free help that you can get online through, content like, I'm making right now, other content on my channel. People like Roberto Blake, who was in the chat here earlier. I think he might still be here, but he also has a YouTube channel filled with also, helpful YouTube advice. Daniel Batal was in here earlier. He has a channel filled with like video editing advice and also some, like YouTube advice in there as well. My brother's got content on his channel if you're doing stuff on a phone. There's a lot of, channels, making content like this that can, help you better understand things. But in terms of people doing it like for you or alongside you, typically people only offer that as like a paid service. So it's like a prepaid service. So basically it's like, okay, so I'm going to pay for, like as an example, like, like Daryl Lee's channel, Jumpstart, or Roberto's Awesome Creator Academy. Both of those are where, you can hop on calls with people, you can get feedback on stuff, to where you can get, some type of support, not just a lot of courses that have just the information itself, but you can also get support, you can get some feedback. There's communities around, these types of programs to where you can, also get feedback from other content creators that are in the programs and things like that. So if that's something that you're looking for, I recommend that you check out Awesome Creator Academy, that's Roberto's, or that you check out Channel Jumpstart, which is Daryl Eves. So with Daryl Eves, I would do that one more so if you are, if you're like, hey, I'm doing this seriously, and I've already got like a good understanding of kind of how things work. I just need to find something to break through. Then in that case, that's something that you might want to consider. And then with Roberto's, it's like, hey, I'm either new or I'm experienced, and I need somebody that can, kind of give me some feedback on stuff. I need somebody that is extremely knowledgeable with this to kind of, look at what it is that I'm doing and maybe point out, things that I might be doing incorrectly and stuff like that.
Roberto's still here. Right
yeah, and he's okay. Yeah, so Roberto's still here, and it looks like Chantel also dropped a link to his Awesome Creator Academy as well.
Roberto's omnipresent.
Yep, he's everywhere.
Roberto's always.
Yeah,
there.
That's like a bonus of being a Sith Lord, right? You just kind of show up.
He's like
right?
he's like Beetlejuice.
Like everywhere.
He's like the Beetlejuice of YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you say his name a couple times, like boom, there's
Roberto. I'm here for your views, Chuck.
I'm here for your views. So next up, we got Darker Things. Darker Things, they've been on YouTube for less than 6 months. They do true crime, urgent legends, and dark history content. The goal of the channel says I want to entertain true crime buffs in a new or different way. And the question is, how does one go about getting a YouTube channel evaluation? Same thing. I know Roberto does those. Daniel Batal does those. I know Nate over at That Nate Black, formerly of Channel Makers. He offers that service as well. Let's see here. Who else offers that? I know Daniel does. I don't think Brian's offering those anymore. But yeah, like out of those, like those will get in the right direction. I think Ed over at Film Booth offers some of that as well, and I think Think Media might also offer those, but yeah, there's definitely places. But basically, what you want to do is like some of the help channels. You got to be careful because there are people that are putting out content about YouTube that are just kind of regurgitating stuff, but they don't really get it yet. And then there's people that do get it. So just make sure that you kind of do your homework there and make sure that you work with somebody that knows what they're doing like legitimately. Like I said, Roberto, he's in the chat right now. He's one of them. So Daniel was here earlier as well. He's another one. So I would definitely reach out to one of them if you just want to make sure that you're working with somebody that is legit. Detours with Jeff. What's up, Jeff? Hope you're doing great, man.
Hey, Jeff.
Says they do a cruise ship vacation channel. The goal of the channel is growing my community in order to make D money. And the question is, two questions. Where's Beanie Draws been? He actually swung by not too long ago, actually. Says he used to always be in your live stream and active on Twitter, but I haven't seen him in months. Yeah, he actually swung by. Wasn't too long ago. He came by. And then says, Daryl keeps teasing the final keynote speaker by any chance. Is it D? It is not. And then he says, if not, is he going to be speaking at Vid Summit? D is not, no, but I will. D has other obligations during that time, so unfortunately,
I'll be there next year.
Yeah.
I have obligations that are not allowing me to go this year. But I'll be there next year for sure.
Yeah, but says, can't wait to see you, Nick and D, if he shows up to Vid Summit. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you over there. And then D will catch you there next year when he goes.
Yep.
Tube Spanner in the house. What's going on, Danielle? Hope that you're doing fantastic. Says, did you hear about the new YouTuber who was arrested for assault? It was a bad misunderstanding after he was told he needed to hit 1,000 subscribers. He needed to hit 1,000 subscribers. Got it. Took me a second. I was like,
we need to change
it's a good one. Good one.
The super chat
to what?
To a
oh, for that one?
Just just for when Danielle comes in.
Oh, just like make a unique one.
Just a unique Danielle. Yeah. And so it's the sad trombone, but it has to be like a super sad trombone.
Yeah. Yeah.
With crackles.
That's a good one though. Yeah, like that's a good one though.
Yeah, that's not bad.
That's
one of the better ones that you've had.
Yeah.
In the past month.
Yeah, Roberto says, let's see here. There are quite a few people who take all of our free content and repackage our stuff as courses. Yeah, unlike Udemy, stuff like that. Yeah, you gotta be careful out there.
So we don't know who's keynoting this year?
Not yet. I think he's announcing it this week.
Is he?
Yeah.
Who do you think is going to be?
Well, it's the last keynote because he's got other people in there, and I can't think off the top of my head who they are. But he's already got some. If you go to vidsummit.com, you'll see him there. I have no idea who it's going to be. But he's like, it's like everybody's going to freak out when they know.
How do you know it's not going to be me?
Yeah, it might be. You know what? It might be.
I might walk up on stage with my play button.
Yep. Like
stolen from your house.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for coming. Got it.
Yep,
and then just like walk off. That was it.
So Hobby Genix is
and
our
then
next
I break
question.
yours in half.
They
throw it to a tree chipper
right
in front of everybody.
Yep. They upload when they have to. I just order another one. I'm not like, like I don't care about that. Like,
because you got it in the first place.
Right. But even if I didn't,
you don't care about it because you got it in the first place.
But I would just order another one.
Because
I would be
you
like,
got
okay,
it
well,
in
it's
the
not a big
first
deal.
place.
Right. No, but I would just say
no.
I would. I would just be like,
No.
oh no, it got lost in the mail or de-lost it or whatever. I would just order another one.
No.
Yeah.
My first
I would.
no,
I would.
Oh,
I
you
know
lost it.
Me that I would. I know.
No, you wouldn't.
I would. Crafting and Hobby says the goal of the channel is to.
You just dismiss that.
Says my goal.
I would just order another one.
I would.
No, you
like yeah, it's like
you would be in the
like if you want one, you can just order another one. Like that's what that's.
I wanted the one.
So
I wanted the original one that was sent to me by YouTube. If I have to purchase it, if you have to purchase it.
It's never sent by YouTube. It's sent by the awards company that actually makes them. And that same exact company would be the same people that sent it.
You got to purchase it.
Anyway, my goal is to be the channel people are most excited to see a notification pop up from. And the question is, in your live stream with Daryl, he said identifying the videos that convert new viewers to returning videos is important. How do I identify that? So if you look into your analytics and you look at the video level and the channel level, you'll see your new and returning viewers coming in. So what you want to look for is, like, when you publish your content, you want to look for spikes in the new viewership, and then you can see that later in the returning viewership.
Chat, I need your help. Is it the same if you order the second one? So Corin says, I'm with you, D. It's not the same.
Yeah, I mean, Roberto says just order a copy of your button. He said order two. Yeah.
It's a little bit different. Like, Roberta, do you remember when they sent you your the first draft of your book? Like, you probably, like, your first book, you probably still have that. It's like a business earning your first $1 and you frame it and you put it on the wall.
But it's
you can earn more money, you earn more dollars. Yeah, but that's the first one. You just make more.
Parker Green, they've been uploading for less than a year. The type of channel is food, travel for LA and Vegas. The goal of the channel is long-term, create a full-time career out of it, short-term to share information I always thought would be useful. And the question is, I have a video with a decent number of views, but not one of my highest, but it has a very high rate of new subscriptions per viewer, driving most of the subscriber growth on my channel. Why is it not recommended more? How could it be replicated? So if you have a video that's doing well, in that particular case, people are responding to it. So what you want to make sure that you do is you want to study that particular video, right? So you want to go in, you want to look at how you started the video, after you started the video, after the first 5 seconds, 10 seconds, you want to look at the next 5 and 10 seconds, study your audience retention report, see if there's any places where people rewatched parts, see if there's anything that people skipped to, and note down all of these things, and then apply it to the next piece of content that you publish. Read the comments on that video, see all the feedback that you got from it, see if there's stuff where people really loved certain aspects of it. Also look down in the comments and see if there's stuff that people didn't like about the video, or things maybe that you might have missed, those sorts of things. And then of course you try to replicate something that is similar, or just something that the people, if that video is still thriving, something that those people that are coming into that particular video would be very likely to watch next based on their proven interest in that video that they are currently already responding well to.
So Doug got you on a technicality here.
What do you say?
If I buy a new one, it doesn't come with the letter signed. It doesn't come with the letter.
Yeah, so
it's the authenticity of the letter too.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Signed by the CEO of YouTube.
Okay.
Like, that's a big deal.
It is. It
right?
is. It
I
is.
got a letter from the CEO of YouTube.
It is. It is.
So there you go. Thank you, Doug. Doug's got my back.
Ned Media says they upload when they have time. They have a news channel. The goal of the channel is to make money. The question is, what should, if YouTube is not for me? Stop making videos. Yeah. Like, if YouTube isn't for you, then there's no sense in like fighting uphill. If you're like, hey, I'm doing this and I'm just not motivated to do it, I don't like doing it, I don't want to learn the stuff to do it, I don't want to put in any work to this, then just don't do it. Like, there's no rule that says you have to do YouTube. Shark Scrapper is the next channel.
Can I add something to that?
Yeah, go ahead.
There's no shame in stopping.
Not at all.
Doing this. Here's the thing. You might be really good at something else, and you're wasting your time on YouTube. Right. You might be the best podcaster the world doesn't know about yet. Right. You might be amazing at
the best Lego builder ever to walk the face of the earth.
Or you might be a TikTok star waiting to explode. Mm-hmm. Like, you don't know. So if you're just not feeling YouTube for whatever reason, try something else. But what I urge you not to do is don't quit because you've just been at it for maybe a couple months and you're not seeing the growth that you expect. right? This is hard. This is not easy. There's a lot to learn. We have to wear a lot of hats.
Yep.
This takes time. This is a slow process. So don't quit because it's moving slowly.
Shark Scrapper is the next question. He uploads 1 time per week or more. He's been on YouTube for a year more. Looking forward to hanging out with you again at Vid Summit, man. Says he does edutainment content. The goal of the channel is to promote scrapping, recycling, and to make some money. The question is, I've been live streaming since January with no troubles. 2 weeks ago, I started having trouble with my audio. I use StreamYard, and my physical setup is a Sony ZV-E10 with a Rode mic connected to a desktop PC and 2 screens. When I screen share, go to the second screen, my audio starts to break up and crackle. If I go back to my primary screen, it clears up. Any ideas on how to fix this? Man, I don't know.
I got some. Okay, so
I used to have this with my Focusrite, to where like there would be some things that would just trigger it, and I could never figure out why.
Yeah, so there's some things that'll just trigger it and cause that to happen. So I would recommend turning off all the plugins in your browsers.
Oh yeah.
I would make sure you don't have a bunch of tabs open, because open tabs can actually pull resources from your machine. I don't know how powerful your machine is.
Oh, yeah.
Right? We've got a really powerful machine over here, and that's kind of crapping out on us as well. That's why I'm using my laptop now. Turn off all the plugins. Make sure all of your other tabs are closed. Don't have things running in the background. Like, really strip it down. You know, open your task manager and shut off anything that's running in the background that you don't need. So when you go live, the only thing that's functioning are the features that actually need to be running. I would try that first.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And also, like, I would just test things. Like, this might not even matter, but I would also go into like your settings for your browser and just experiment with turning like your hardware acceleration off and see if that makes a difference at all. And then, you know, turn it back on, obviously, if not. But like, I would experiment with that sort of thing as well and see if you can find anything there. I had a similar problem with my Focusrite that I used to use. With that, basically,
the 2x2.
Yeah. Like, sometimes it was flawless, and then other times, using the same software and everything, it would just be like crackling all the time, and I'd have to restart. It got to the point to where, because it was during the time when I was doing the podcast with Owen.
Okay.
And like, there were some times where I'd have to be like, hey, I'm just going to completely restart everything and come back in. And then when I would restart and I would come back in, which makes me think that your idea of clearing out like the cache and the browsers and stuff like that might be helpful.
Right.
But when I would come back in, then everything would be like, okay. So, you know, in that particular case, while you're streaming, you know, you're not necessarily going to be able to restart. But, you know, maybe restarting before you stream, you know, just to kind of clear everything out and freshen everything up before you go for it.
As a rule of thumb, I try to restart the machine before I stream, because that, just like you said, restart your stream. Restart your stream, open the task manager, shut down things you don't need, disable plugins in the browser that you're using.
Yeah.
And Roberta said he ordered a second play button and it came with a letter.
Okay, nice.
Still not the same, but thank you, Roberto. That's actually good.
Nice.
Love it. I'll at least consider it now.
Resin Dragon Studios says they upload 1 time per week or more. They have a maker channel. Awesome. The goal of the channel is to share my experiences and educate with different art forums. The question is, what types of titles are better? Clickbaity titles like, okay, I'm not even going to read the rest of the question. I'm going to tell you right now that the best titles are ones that you'll be able to deliver on the viewer experience with. So, you know, of course, you definitely want to make sure that you are being compelling, because, you know, like when it comes to titles, you can just be informative, and that's okay. But if you are compelling and you're trying to think like, okay, what does somebody really need with this type of content? Like, what would really, you know, make sense for them if this were to show up on their homepage, to where it's like, yeah, I really want to see this because it's got to, you know, help me solve this problem, or it's the, you know, this particular type of entertainment that I'm seeking, or something like that. But, you know, try to be just don't be misleading, because if you're misleading, then what's going to happen is people will click on your videos and then they'll quickly abandon the video, which is a bad sign to YouTube that people are not enjoying the content. So the whole goal is you're trying to get as much watch time per impression as possible on every surface of YouTube. So if they're showing your thumbnail to somebody, or your thumbnail and title, and they're clicking on it, they're coming in, they're having a good experience with the video, then that's great signs to YouTube that people are enjoying the content and the whole experience, and they're not being misled or anything like that. But when you publish content, and you're like, hey, I'm just going to make a super clickbaity thumbnail just to get people to click on this video, then in that particular case, if they end up abandoning the video, then that tells YouTube that something isn't right there, and then that can cause them to not show that video to, you know, as many people. Think Media in the house. What is going on, Sean? Hope that you're doing fantastic. Hope that you guys are doing fantastic over there.
Sending you love right back all the way up in Seattle.
Is there any AI tools that you consistently use and really love right now? Absolutely. I'm like really going down on this stuff.
He's been going hard on this.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So I love Kyber right now. I love Midjourney right now. Basically, how I'm using those two together is like, for example, like if I'm making a thumbnail and they're actually publishing it soon. You might even have back-end access to this as well because they sponsor you also. But I made a thumbnail for the StreamYard channel about live streaming, and I was like, okay, well, I can take a bunch of pictures, or let me try using Midjourney. And I was like, okay, cell phone laying on a desk. Then it gives me that shot, and then I'm like, okay, live streaming setup, and I can't remember the exact prompt, but basically I did 2 more with different types of live streaming setups, and then I made them into like a 3-panel, thumbnail. And instead of having to go to either take the pictures or go to a stock website and find the photos that I needed, I just hopped into Midjourney and then put everything together there. So that's cool. In addition to that, Kyber is cool. I'm in the process of trying to get better at Kyber. With Kyber, it is AI video. Same with Runway Gen 2, to where you can take images either that you already have, or you can make something in Midjourney, upload it into there, and then you can essentially create B-roll with it. So in my opinion, I think that whole AI video thing is going to be incredible for us in the future for just all content creators when it comes to B-roll. But both of those are fantastic. Of course, using ChatGPT, we all know how helpful that's been. TubeBuddy's title generator is also cool, just for kind of giving you some extra ideas before you put the video together. TubeSpanner's AI script writing tool is cool, just for kind of giving a starting point. If you're like just talking about something. Let's see here, what else? Yeah, I think off the top of my head, I think that's it. But like the thing that I'm really getting into personally, just is like, okay, if I'm not working on like YouTube stuff, I'm like, okay, hey, let's mess with AI video. I'm having a field day with AI video stuff. So yeah, so for me, I would say it's mostly those things that I listed there. But yeah, I'm super impressed. Sometimes it nails it with the like if you take an image from and Photoshop generative fill is also cool.
That one's fun.
Yeah, it's really incredible. So yeah. I have a video, Sean, on my channel right now about AI backgrounds and how to basically just recreate your entire environment using AI, and that's done with Firefly for the free version. And then if you have Photoshop, the beta version where it has generative fill, then you can kind of spice up the background. So this is really cool. In that video, I didn't give this example, but a utility example for that is like, let's say somebody's making videos and they're on the road, and let's say it's like a talking head video. Then in that particular case, let's say they're making a video in a hotel and there's this big ugly door over here. There's some like awkward hallway that just makes the scene feel kind of weird. Then they can take that screenshot, drop it into Photoshop generative fill, and just tell it to either fill that with a wall or to, make it a window with an ocean view or something like that. And then it'll do it. And then they can just lay that on top their video, mask it out, and then like that door's not there anymore. For vloggers that are outside doing stuff, it's also really cool for those sorts of things as well, to where you can actually just create objects that are there that aren't even there at all, which is also really cool as well.
I use ChatGPT on my phone almost every day.
Yeah,
almost every day. Not unrelated to YouTube.
Yeah,
just like emails or whatever.
Brainstorming
just like, what
stuff.
Does this mean? Explain this to me like a 5-year-old.
Right.
Right? Like
yeah.
I ChatGPT on my phone every day.
Resin Dragon Studios is our next question. They have a maker channel. The goal of the channel is to share my experiences and educate with different art forms. The question is, what types of titles are better? Clickbaity titles like, we did this one already. Okay, next up. Number 28, cruising through these. We've got Apocalyptic Retrospective.
All right, you had me at hello.
Had me at apocalyptic, right?
Yep.
The goal of the channel is Walking Dead, or the type of channel is Walking Dead commentary. The goal of the channel is to build a community. And the question is, are weekly newsletters / email lists worth building? I want to stand out in the community space, and I don't have a ton of time being a single mom. A blog seems overwhelming, but I have design experience. Thanks a lot. Yeah, if there's a reason for people to sign up to the newsletter, absolutely. People still respond to newsletters. In some cases, they respond at a very high level to newsletters. But the win when it comes to newsletters and email marketing in general, or any off-platform community that you build, is that when it comes to newsletters, it gives you the opportunity to actually own the connection that you have with your audience. So, when you're making YouTube videos and you're publishing content to YouTube, you're kind of at the mercy of their recommendation system, right? And let's say that somebody might still be interested in your content, but let's say that they for whatever reason, they've just been watching a bunch of other stuff. And because of that, let's say they've prioritized some other content over yours the last handful of times that YouTube has shown them your stuff. And because of that, YouTube just kind of limits the amount that they're, getting your content and put in front of them. And when you have your newsletter, then in that particular case, one of the wins there is, every time you publish it, it's at least getting into their inbox, or at least in their, spam box or promotion box. Like it's getting in, in their stuff, in some particular way, without relying on anything external in terms of the social media platforms that you're on, getting that in front of them. So because of that, it can be very advantageous to have, that type of thing. And with that too, like in addition to owning your audience, there's also additional value there. So like, for example, if you start doing sponsorships in the future and stuff like that, then you can also add that as part of the packages that you offer, where it's like, hey, I have my YouTube channel, but I also have 150,000 subscribers on my email that I can also send this out to spread awareness about what it is that you're doing as well. So it just gives you that opportunity to to be able to leverage additional things for any affiliate stuff that you do, for letting people know when you publish videos, for sponsor deals, all kinds of, fun ways that you can use it. Next up, we've got Snow Family Racing. Snow Family Racing, they upload 1 time per week or more. The type of channel is classic American car how-tos and racing them. Oh, that's cool. The goal of the channel is to document and preserve how to work on these cars as well as have fun with them. And the question is, if we mention a product and have an affiliate link in the description, do we need to hit the paid promotion button? No, you do not, because they are not giving you something in advance in order to make the content. Now, if they send you a wrench, then in that particular case, you need to disclose it. But if you are making something and they haven't, paid you for that, then in that particular case, or paid you or giving you anything, for it, then in that particular case, you do not have to check the box to saying that it's a paid promotion. Next up on the list here, we are at 45.
Wow.
Yeah, on fire, cruising. Oh, I'm sorry, we're on 30. Oh. Sorry. Yep. So
built me up and tore me back down. Right?
Yeah, I'm like, let's we're going for the gut here.
Yeah.
So Ari Shakira says that they've been on YouTube for 1 year or more. The type of channel is a reaction channel. The goal of the channel is to grow an amazing audience and increase the amount of views that I get for each video. And the question is, I've been on YouTube for a year now. I currently have 484 subscribers, and I want to know how to get my audience to respond to my community post, so I can get feedback and suggestions for things that they would like me to react to. So Flyride, what's going on, man? Hope you're doing awesome.
Flyride.
So the very first thing is, of course, making sure that you are getting some activity on your videos. Yes, your community posts can get in front of people that are not subscribed to your channel, but if you have activity happening on your channel, then you're increasing the likelihood of that. But the next thing is to start posting things that are likely to gain some type of response. That can be a poll. Those typically do pretty well on YouTube, to where it's just a simple, yes or no question that they can answer, or like, hey, here's 3 items, which thing, like in your case, you are making, let's see here, what do they say? Reactions, right? So in that particular case, say, hey, out of the videos that I'm putting, like, what shows do you love the most, right? You don't even have to say what shows you want me to react to. What show do you love the most? And then list 3 different shows, and then see if anybody, responds that way. But I would start with polls, because people, typically respond the most to those. And then from there, as your community grows, then people will respond to them more. But I would start leveraging the thing that is, that usually gets the most engagement, which is polls.
Think Media says they've been doing this for 16 years.
Yep.
Wow.
Grinding it out.
Wow.
Yep. I'm rolling up on 9, so pretty far behind you, but
That's incredible.
Yeah.
16 years. So listen, I know somebody was asking earlier about getting started in editing and all of that stuff. Go follow Sean's incredible journey.
Yeah.
Where he started. He's one of the ones that's put it out there like, hey, this is where I started. This is where I'm at now. His journey through this and where he started, and it's incredible.
It is.
You go follow and watch Sean's journey. Go watch his first videos, and then look where he's at now.
Yeah,
and that comes with doing the thing over and over and over.
Yep.
That comes with doing it for 16 years.
Right.
over and over and over and over and hitting record over and over and over.
Yep. Just press and record. Press the heck out of record. 16 years worth of content. Yeah, he's pressed the heck out of that record.
Record.
It's like, oh my gosh, can you give me a break?
Record buttons filing restraining orders against you. All right, I've had enough.
All right, I've had enough. That's enough, Sean. Come on, man.
I can't take it anymore. I'm on already. I'm on.
I'm recording.
Yeah.
Fine.
But no, for real though, it's an incredible journey to see where he started, and I love that. Marquez Brownlee is another one. You know, Mr. Beast is another one. You know, you go in, you sort through their old videos, look at the first ones. It's just like wow.
Yeah.
But it adds, gives you perspective.
Yeah, it does.
Right? Like, wow, this is where they started. This is probably where I'm at now.
Right.
And now look at where they're at now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Denise Smith Creative is our next question here. They upload one time per week or more. They do watercolor knowledge as a type of channel. The goal of the channel is to get monetized. And the question is, I think I need to go live to get more viewers and subscribers, but I need more information on the steps to do this in one video. I can get a few things here, a few things there. It seems that that's the case on a lot of subjects. Where's the all-inclusive step-by-step how to go live on YouTube? Should I go live for 10 minutes or 30 minutes? Help. Thank you for your help. I watch every week. Maybe there's a video out there and I'm just missing it. I do only watch Nick and StreamYard and Think Media, vidIQ, and Daniel Batal, but I'm willing to branch out to others if they're giving good advice that I can understand. So I would definitely hit, if you're already watching all of us and you're not finding what you need, you might need to watch a few different videos in order to get what it is that you're after. But I would definitely check out Luria over at Live Streaming Pros. She focuses on live streaming as well, so you might want to check her out. You might find something there, or just hop into YouTube search and go, hey, how to set up a live stream step by step, and then there'll be some results there, and just start digging into them, see if you can find exactly what it is that you need. But really, it's like in terms of step by step, it's not that complicated if you're using the right stuff, especially when you're first getting started. So if you're using something like OBS, it can be pretty overwhelming at first because the interface is confusing. You have to kind of tinker a little bit in order to kind of figure it out. But when it comes to something like StreamYard, it's just easy. So basically, it's like, okay, I connect a camera, I connect an audio source, and then I connect where it is that I want to live stream to. And then I schedule the live stream, which is similar to filling out the details of your YouTube videos. And then I schedule it, and then I just log into StreamYard to just start the whole thing, and I hit the big red go live button, and I go live. So they make it really easy to have your first streams. If you're interested in that, they do have content, because you're already watching StreamYard's content anyway. They do have content over there sharing, like how to use their stuff to get your live stream started. So I definitely recommend that you check that out as well.
Yeah, in terms of how long you stream, how long are you comfortable streaming? What's the turnout going to be? One of the things.
And what are you offering too?
What are you offering? Yeah, like I don't know what you're actually going to talk about, but if you're not used to going live, you know what? Write something down or make notes on your iPad or your phone and just say, okay, I'm going to talk about these 5 things, and give yourself some bullet points. That way, if when you go live, your brain kind of turns off, right? You have those brain fart moments. Is that what happens when you go live? You have something that'll keep you on track, and just go live and treat it like a video. Go live, start with some sort of a hook to let everybody know what you're talking about.
That's for the replay.
Yeah, that's for the replay, and just start talking about those things that you have in bullet point format. And if people show up and start interacting with you, that's cool. If not, treat it like a video, right, and end it. Don't overthink it. Just get out there and do it. I made the mistake of waiting. I think I waited till I had like 10,000 subscribers to stream by myself. I was already streaming with you at the time on my channel. But you get started streaming because there's a lot to learn. You got to learn the gear. You have to learn how to keep the conversation moving. Things are going to happen. You're going to have technical difficulties. So yeah, just start streaming. You'll figure it out. Don't make it longer than it has to be. You can go live for 15 minutes. That's fine. Go live for 10 minutes if you want. That's fine. Whatever works. You'll figure it out.
So let's hear. Paul's Art World is the next channel. They've been on YouTube for a year or more. The type of channel is about my art, my life as a gay man, and LBGTQ questions, and says, I love video editing, and I hope to make a nice and interesting gay channel, especially for the older gays. And the question is the rumor true that gay, the word gay, are not very welcome on YouTube? What do you think of that? Here's what I think of that. I think that it's probably likely that you're probably going to get some hateful people that will come in and kind of interact with it and try to, kind of troll you and whatnot. So be because of that, I would make sure, like YouTube has a feature called the blocked words list. I would make sure that you take advantage of that feature in order to find it. You just go down, if you are on a computer, down on the bottom left-hand side of your screen, you're going to see like a little gear looking icon for it's a settings icon. Click into that, and then a dialog box is going to come up. On that dialog box, you're going to look for an option that says community. When you click on that, then when you scroll down the page at the very bottom or almost to the bottom, you're going to see an empty box that says blocked words. There, you can put in anything that you anticipate people are probably going to see, probably stuff that you've already dealt with online. Take all of those things and put them into that box, and then what's going to happen is when somebody does say those types of things in your live streams or in your comment section of your videos, then YouTube is going to automatically capture those and put them into a held for review section on your channel that if you don't want to, you don't even have to go look at that stuff ever. So, excuse me. So you have that. And then in terms of like the channel name, to my understanding, I don't think that it makes any difference if that's in your channel name or not. Same exact thing with your title. In fact, I mean, if I just, call it what it is, I would think that YouTube would probably be cautious about putting any type of limitations on a channel that included those things.
Yeah, I would agree.
Just based on the possible blowback that could happen if they did. So, so because of that, in terms of the channel names and stuff, I think that you're okay. You might want to just to be on the safe side, maybe just send an @ if you're on Twitter, send an @ to Team YouTube on Twitter and just kind of confirm that. But I really don't think you're going to have any issues with the channel name. I think the issues that you're going to have are going to be more likely based on like trolls and just, negative, hateful people coming in and interacting with what it is that you're doing.
Yep.
Let's see here. So next up on the list, we have Coach Sherry.
Yeah, the blowback from that would be enormous.
Yeah,
if something were to come out,
if it was detected that,
yeah,
like,
hey, we found out that
uses,
YouTube is suppressing this sort of thing.
Yeah, it would
the
be
blowback
massive.
would be enormous. Yeah, I don't know if they'd recover from that.
Yeah, that'd be a doozy.
That'd be a doozy. Yeah.
But Coach Sherry is the next question. She does daily content. She's been on YouTube for a year or more. It's a lifestyle and professional development channel. The goal of the channel is legacy and business. And the question is it better to create lives as a podcast or just keep it as a live? So if you want people to be able to access it in YouTube Music, then in that case, make it as a podcast. If you're doing a live stream and it's a long live stream where it would be something that people don't have to visually participate in, to where it's something they could listen to in the background or they could listen to while they're out, taking their morning run or something like that, then in that particular case, definitely do it as a podcast. Because if you do it as a podcast, then in that particular case, it just opens you up for more discoverability on the platform. So I would definitely do it as a podcast if it's something that you can listen to in the background. But let's say it's a podcast where you are, like, let's say you're like, okay, hey, we're going to take this watch apart and, I'm going to show everybody here how to take this watch apart. We're going to get into the details of it and blah, blah, blah. Then in that particular case, if it was a more, a stream that's more visual in nature, then you might want to reserve that because, they would need to visually, watch it as well, which they can do in YouTube Music. But the thing that I would just kind of cater to there is people that are more listening to what it is that they're having.
So Fretboard Diaries says their blocked words list on YouTube is filled with politicians' names from both sides. No need for politics on a music channel.
Yep.
Yeah,
totally.
I've added all sorts of things like that, and all sorts of.
I block those ads too. So just as a heads up, since you're adding those to your blocked words list, you can also block those in the ads that are being served on your content. So I also block that stuff too because I'm just not a fan of any of it. So I block those types of things.
Yeah, I'm all for people having conversations.
Yeah.
But some people love to steer it in certain directions.
Right.
Like you can watch it, like how to use a YouTube thumbnail, or how to make a YouTube thumbnail on your phone, and it gets steered into politics.
Right.
You're just like, man, come on.
Right.
I mean, so because of that, I try to block a lot of that. So Think Media asked a great question here. It says, what's your honest opinion of Faceless Channels? Big opportunity, challenges, underrated or overrated?
I think they're underrated, and I think they're underrated
if
because
they're done well.
Yeah, if they're done well.
Well, I think they're underrated. Yeah.
I think they're underrated because like there's a lot of potential content creators that would love to do YouTube, but they have the gigantic hurdle of like, what are people going to think about me and all the judgment that comes from that. So because of that, I think it gives people an opportunity to make content that might have not made content. So because of that, I think it's great. In addition to that, when it comes to Faceless Channels, channels, the thing that you have to connect to is the voice. So because of that, it does remove some judgment from, the content creator. So for example, like let's say that, there's somebody in here earlier that asked the question about their age and, how that, would apply to YouTube. And when it comes to a faceless YouTube channel.
A
Facelick channel, yeah. But when it comes to a faceless channel.
Facelick channel.
Yeah. But
YouTube, can I be monetized?
It's just all puppies.
Just licking faces.
Yeah, it's just all puppies.
All
you just
puppies
lay on the floor and just have your face licked by puppies.
That's just the most adorable thing, right?
That would be, that would be adorable.
Puppy licker.
Yeah.
Right? There's my channel name, @puppylicker.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think the challenge with that would be like having like a fresh batch of puppies that would be coming in, like because they would age, right? Yeah. So having where it's like, oh, you're too old now, we got to get new puppies.
I don't know. Well, yeah, you could like up the ante too, and just like have street dogs try to lick you.
Right.
Like, will they lick you or bite you?
Right. Yeah,
right? I don't know.
But yeah, when it comes to faceless channels, though, I think it's a good opportunity there. But I think it also removes some of that judgment in terms of people. Everybody has biases, right? So like when you watch something, it's like I don't know what it is about this person. There's just something there's that whole thing. Yeah. So it just removes some of that. So I think there is an opportunity there, and some faceless YouTube channels just crush it. And when it comes to faceless, you have like, okay, are we doing faceless where it's just like an AI voice and then graphics, or is it to where they're doing like some type of animation and then they're able to express themselves through the voice side of it, those types of things. But I think faceless channels are fine as long as they are providing the golden rule, providing some type of value to people that can help people in some way.
I'm not a fan of low effort faceless channels.
Yeah.
There are a lot of low effort channels that just stick up like a single image or something like that. Just really low effort.
Yeah.
And you can tell that it's low effort.
Yeah.
I think a faceless channel that's done well and it's put together and it's, it holds my attention, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Underrated.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Underrated. I mean, it's a lot of work. Yeah. I would even go as far to say if you've got a faceless channel, you're probably putting in more work editing wise.
Unless you're hiring it out. Yeah.
Unless you're hiring it out, right. But somebody's going to do more. A really good looking faceless channel is probably going to have more editing involved than our types than Talking Head, I would bet. Yeah. Because everything has to be moving at all times.
Right.
Versus just us communicating in front of the camera,
right?
And throwing some B-roll on top.
Yeah.
So
yeah, like I've worked with faceless channels before, and with them like retention, all that stuff. Like people respond to them similar to regular videos, so people still have to do all the stuff, so to speak. But when it comes to it being like an opportunity, that sort of thing, absolutely. But I think on the challenge side, like Dee was saying, if somebody's going to do it themselves, then they have all that extra work, because if you can get on camera, then it kind of lowers the amount of extra stuff that you have to do. You still got to do the extra. I mean, you don't have to, but you can still do the extra stuff, but it lowers that to where it's like, well, I don't have like a real way to kind of explain this, so I'll just go on camera and just explain that part and then get back into it or whatever. But for the people that don't have that option, if they're doing, faceless, then, it does add that, unless they're hiring it out. So I've considered, starting, some faceless channels. I'm just not there yet in terms of other stuff that I have to get out of the way.
There are some other faceless channels to consider. Like I've watched moto vlogging channels.
Totally, like POV channels.
POV channels.
Totally.
I have no idea what the person looks like, but maybe they just walk around the city or just moto vlogging or something. I have no idea what they look like.
Walking channels too.
Where they're walking around.
Exact thing.
Yeah, they're walking through the forest, so they're going on paths, like hiking. I have no idea what they look like.
Right.
So there's that version, but that's not low effort to me.
Right.
Like there's something cool with that, especially when it's got good audio. As they're walking, you can hear the crunching in the feet.
Totally.
Yeah, so I think there's
it comes in a lot of forms.
Yeah, it comes in a lot of forms. Yeah. Underrated, I think. Yeah. And no, I would not be licking the puppies. The puppies will be licking me. Licking my face.
Hopefully.
Yeah. That's a good boy. There you go.
Good boy. Good boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would probably do, like on TikTok or something, that probably do as well as the NPCs. Can you believe this? Do you see what's happening there with the NPCs?
Lay it on me.
Oh my gosh. So on TikTok.
Yeah.
So basically what people are doing is they are NPC, for anybody, just for clarity here, that means like non-player character. And what people are doing is they're like recreating like, characters out of games and things like that.
Oh, so you're talking about the live streaming?
Yeah. Yeah,
I have seen it.
Thank you for the rose.
But
there's also dudes that are in like full military gear doing the same exact thing, like it's some like Call of Duty thing or something like that. Like there's all kinds of crazy stuff. And some of these people are making like thousands of dollars per day.
I was going to say the one I saw,
just going like, thanks for the rose. It's like, oh my gosh.
They're pretending to be characters, animated characters. They're pretending to be that. I saw one streamer, it was a female. She was making like $4,000 per stream.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, and she's just.
I mean, good for her.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just in my brain.
In my brain,
I just don't understand it.
In my brain, I thought I've made a terrible mistake.
Right.
Like I've done everything wrong in my life. If people are going on and pretending to be game characters on live streams and they're making $4,000 in a stream.
Right.
I've done everything wrong.
It's interesting. Right.
Every choice I've ever made that's led up to here has been wrong.
Yeah, it's absolutely absolutely crazy.
I think it's cool though. Listen, man. If you can figure out,
things are evolving that way.
Yeah,
for the OG, because somebody did it first.
Yeah,
like for that person, high five to them for being like, okay, this is going to be absolutely nuts, but I'm going to just try it anyway and just see what people do.
Right. And here's a conversation with a friend or a significant other, whatever. Yeah. All right, here's what I'm going to do.
Right.
I'm going to go live on TikTok.
Right.
Hear me out. Don't say anything yet.
Yeah.
I'm going to go live on TikTok and pretend to be an NPC.
Yep.
And just kind of be animated and just be repetitive, like I'm in a loop almost.
Yep.
And people are going to give me money.
Yep.
I'm going to make thousands of dollars in a single stream.
Right.
And they'll be like, yeah, okay, good luck with that.
Right. Now think of that same person on an airplane, right? So like right now, right, you have that conversation. Hey, what do you do? I make content for YouTube. I do this, that, and the other thing.
Right.
And they're like, oh, well, that's interesting. How do you make money? Blah, blah, blah. But like in that one, it's like, oh, I'm a non-player character on TikTok. Yeah. What does that mean?
I pretend to be an NPC game character on TikTok.
But high five though.
Like, and I make more money than everybody on this plane combined.
Right. Yeah, I made more. Yeah, right. Yeah, it's crazy. Like high five to them though for doing something out of the ordinary and coming up with something for the OGs, coming up with something that people responded to in that way, right? Like high five. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm not knocking it.
But it's weird. Though.
I think it's weird. I think it's amazing though.
Yeah.
Like if you
and by weird, I mean I don't get it. Like for the viewers. Oh. Like I've clicked. I mean I won't lie. I've clicked into them, but like I would never donate to something like that, right? It's like okay, so if I give this person a whatever this thing is, and I pay for it,
thank you.
Then they do
Thanks
that
for the strawberry.
Right. Right. Yeah. It's like what? Yeah. It's interesting.
So yeah, I can only imagine. So whenever I fly back, this is one of my fun things that I like to do with U.S. immigration. For whatever reason, whenever we fly home to the USA, customs and immigration, you go through immigration, you would think they would just be like, welcome home, and just give you your passport. Mm-hmm. 20 questions.
Yeah.
Because we live outside of the country.
Yeah.
Where do you live?
What are you doing over there?
What are you doing over there?
Why you been there for so long?
Yeah.
You don't love America?
Yeah. You don't love the United States?
It's funny.
How come you haven't been back here in 9 months?
Right.
Who do you live with over in Thailand? Right. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous that it's funny.
It's so it's basically like papers.
Where are you going though?
Yeah. No. So
yeah.
Oh, where are you going? Who are you going to see? Literally, you get 9 out of 10 times when I try to go into the U.S., I get treated as if I'm trying to sneak in illegally.
Right.
It's like I'm trying to sneak in and I get caught.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. They just have a thing. Like if you're out for so long and you try to come back, it's really difficult. Anyway, so one of my guilty pleasures is they say, so what do you do for a living? And I like to just tell them different things. So that would be a funny one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was where I was going with that. The whole thing is, so what do you do for a living?
Yeah, I'm an NPC on TikTok.
Yeah. All right, you're not gonna understand this, but I'm an NPC player on TikTok.
Yeah.
And then we go, what is that? And then I'd be able to do it.
Yeah.
I'd be able to do it for him.
Yeah.
And then just hold up
I made like $7 million last year.
Yeah.
Just going,
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Hey, really quick, legal-minded friends, Karen Cole says, I'm so nervous live. So that's normal. Like, I can't say don't worry about it, right? But just understand when you're live, some of the things that you are concerned about while you're live are things that, we've done hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of live streams, and it's still to where, we'll have tech problems. We'll say the wrong thing. Sometimes I'll be kind of delivering some information and I'll just completely lose my train of thought. Sometimes, your energy, might not be where you want it to be. All of these things happen. But the wonderful thing about live streaming is that because it's such a different experience than video, the expectation is different because people understand that you're live. So because of that, when those types of things happen, people just kind of roll with it. It's not even, a big deal. Nobody takes it to where it's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that person forgot what they were, talking about or whatever, because everybody's human that's watching. Hopefully everybody's human and everybody understands those types of things. So, don't let it get to you too much. I know it's easier to say, right? But don't let it get to you too much, and just understand that, any of the stuff that goes along with streaming, in terms of tech problems and forgetting stuff and things like that. Like it happens to everybody.
Yeah. You have to, there has to be an element where you just, of just letting go. Like you have to be like, okay, I'm going to go live. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. I'm going to do my best to hold it all together. Yeah. But things are going to happen. Yeah. Things are going to happen that will be out of my control. I'm going to say the wrong thing. I'm going to give someone the wrong advice. I'm going to mix things up and accidentally say the wrong thing. I might not have an answer to something. If somebody asks me a question, I might trip over my words. Yeah. I might, there's a million things that can go. You just have to be okay with it.
Like, and also get comfortable saying like if you are, because you're doing legal minded stuff or you're doing legal stuff, it looks like just based on your channel name. So, another thing too is like, don't feel like you have to know everything. Like if you don't know, just say you don't know. Because, when people are coming in there, like they're going to appreciate the things that you do know. But if you don't know something, they're going to appreciate it just as much if you tell them that you don't know. Right. Yeah. So because of that, like, don't even worry about that. But she says that she 100% cannot manage the technical part. That's where, tools like StreamYard come into play because it's just easy, to use. But when it comes to like, the computer and the connection to your microphone and cameras and stuff like that, just, keep working with it and you'll get more, you'll get more used to it. But it can be, intimidating because there is, a lot, or there can be a lot of moving parts.
Yeah. Just get comfortable with it. Get comfortable with making mistakes. Yeah. Because it's going to happen.
Absolutely.
And that's okay. And that's part of the thing that makes live streaming so cool, because the fact that we are human, the fact that we joke and have fun and, that's what makes it a live stream. Right. Right. And plus you have that interaction with your community. If you didn't have all of those things, it's just like a video. Right. It's a video. It's imperfect and that's okay. That's it. It shows a side of you that's like that. That's the unedited human side of you. Right. And people really resonate with that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's great for community building. Yeah. Because there's like when you edit videos, I'm not saying you, but like when people edit videos, like it's typical for people to cut out their ums and ahs and like little imperfections and in some cases re-record a part of the video because you might be able to say it in a more concise way or whatever the thing is. So like the product, the end product that you give when you have a video published, it's a lot more like polished and there can be parts of you that kind of get stripped out of it through that polishing. But with live streaming, like people just, they get it. Right. So just embrace, if you're doing it, like embrace it, keep practicing and you'll get more comfortable over time.
So Resin Dragon Studios, because we were talking about the NPC people on TikTok, they said, but there's no longevity in trends.
It can be a springboard though.
I was just going to say, think about it differently. Number one, early bird gets the worm. Right. Right. If you're part of that early, if you're an early adopter on those trends, you might not
need longevity.
You might not need longevity. Number two, it's a springboard. How many people get caught up in trends and then actually do have a long career because they're continually able to pivot? Right. Okay, trend is over.
Now let's do a new one.
I can pivot into something else. Yep. Yeah.
So, hey, you want to give away a Bid Summit ticket?
Oh, my goodness, I forgot about that. Yeah, yes, I do. Give me 1 second. I'm going to pull that up. Where you're going to use the StreamYard giveaway
I've got it up already.
Well, I'll share it on mine.
Okay.
Give me 1 second. We're going to type in... all right, I'm going to share this up on the screen. So type this word into the chat. Let's see, share tab audio, turn this off. Here we go. Type the word Vid Summit.
Okay, wait. Oh, that's okay. Yep, that's fine. Please only type that word. Please only type that word if you can make it to Dallas, Texas, October 3rd through the 5th. If you cannot go, then please don't type that word because you might take away the opportunity from somebody that can go. So please don't type that word if you cannot make it to Dallas, Texas, October 3rd through the 5th.
Right. Only if you can go.
Yeah.
Change this down. Only if you can go. Look at that. It's a weird crop that way. Only if you can go. Look how small we look on there. Instead of having like the individual shots like that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah.
So we're up to 32 entries right now. So we'll let a few more come in and then we'll draw it.
Okay. Whoopsie. Where are we going? There we go.
So just in case you're not familiar, just, if you're just joining the stream or something, or if you haven't, ran across this information before, Vid Summit is a conference for content creators, where, content creators go there to help other content creators, right? So you have some of the biggest creators on the platform go there and they give presentations. They also talk to people in the hallways and all of that. A lot of the events around this kind of stuff, they actually kind of rope off, the popular creators. With Vid Summit, it's not like that. Instead, everybody just kind of mingles, with everybody else in the crowd and all of that, which makes it a really, awesome, an awesome experience for, for content creators. So because of that, make sure that you you check it out. Even if you don't win, you can get more information at vidsummit.com about what it is. But it's amazing. I know. The situation that we're going through right now. So there's a YouTube channel, and you can actually look up her channel right now. Her name is Natalie, and her YouTube channel is called Designed to the Nines.
Oh yeah.
It was a few years ago. She was in the same exact scenario. She was watching this show with me and Dee, and the same exact thing was happening where Daryl, gave us permission to, give away some tickets, and she won. At that point in time, she was struggling with her YouTube channel. She's trying to figure things out, so on and so forth. She goes to Vid Summit. She learns a ton. She works with other content creators, and this is where the massive value is. Networked with other content creators and actually shared her experience and got direct advice about, some things that she should consider. She goes back home, starts applying all of this stuff. Time passes. Next Vid Summit comes around, and her channel is completely different. She's crossed 100,000 subscribers on her channel. She's getting sponsor deals. Now she's at a point, I believe, where she's actually either working in the process of, or maybe she already has, of even putting products out, like physical products as well. But this particular experience can be life-changing, depending on the creator, of course, but it can be, life-changing for some people. So because of that, that's why I was saying before about, make sure that if you can't get to Dallas, Texas, October 3rd through the 5th, that you don't put that in there, so that, it doesn't take away from, that opportunity from somebody that it could, literally change, the direction of their life. So, so with all that, out of the way, again, you can find out more information about that at vidsummit.com. So what are we up to?
56.
Okay, pull it.
57.
Yep, pull it.
I don't know. I think we can get this to 60.
Okay.
Yeah,
Let's do
58.
it.
We
Yeah,
got
we'll hold it
58.
to
We got
60.
59. We got a 59. We got a 59. We got a 59. We got a
59.
59. Oops, coming up. We got 59. We got 59 right here. We got 60. Anybody got 60?
58 in the back.
Who's got 60? We're going to go to 60. I'm going to 60. We got 60. All right. That was my best.
Yeah, I was just picking one. I was picking I was waiting for you to call me.
All right. Call me. That's a pretty muscly throwing arm you got.
You going to spin that puppy?
I am. Well, people are still
right,
typing it in.
All right.
All right, we're going to let it get 65.
Yep.
We got 4 more, and then we're going to spin it. Here we go. Funny if D wins. That's right. If I win, I'm going to give it away.
Which would be the same as if you just didn't put your Vid Summit in the chat.
No, but then I get to choose who it goes to.
Oh, yeah, true.
And it's going to be whoever wants to give me $850. That's a two.
Hey, you know what? I'm putting it in here too. Why not? Right? Yeah, I'm going already, but I'll put it in there too. Why not?
Okay. Wow, 63. We might not be able to spin it.
Yep. Yeah. If I happen to win it, then I'll give it to a channel member.
Oh, there you go. Me too. Up 65. Here. Ready to go?
Here we go.
All right, here we go. You're
Drum roll.
So last Saturday, Daniel and I were streaming on the StreamYard channel. I got one better.
Is this like an intro before you hit it, or like
no? I got to tell you here. So
yeah,
and we're getting cut off. So last Saturday, the audio wasn't working. He's the one who did the drum roll.
Okay.
And it wasn't working. So we decided to tap on the microphones, and it sounds like a helicopter. So if you tap on the microphone, it fires up the chopper. That's how we're doing it. Fire up the chopper. The chopper. Okay. Here we go. 69. Here we go. Let's go. Spinning. It's spinning.
Here we go. Who's the winner? Who's
going to Vid Summit?
Who's going to Vid Summit 2023? We've got Poodle Professor. Woo! You are the winner. So here's the thing. Poodle Professor.
You're going to Vid Summit.
Yep. Here's what you have to do. So make sure that you follow me on Twitter. and then DM me on Twitter. If you cannot send me a DM for whatever reason, just at me, and then I'll follow you and send you a DM. So just at me on Twitter. If you don't have a Twitter account, just make it just for this. And then, at me. But first, try to send me a DM. But if you can't, then at me, and then I'll follow you and send you a DM. And what I'm going to need from you is just your name and your email address, and then I'm going to pass that on to Daryl's team, and then they'll follow up with all the ticket information and all of that. So congratulations to you for that.
Where is
Looking forward to seeing you at Vid Summit.
Where is Poodle Professor?
Yeah, I'm looking for them right here. Oh, here they are. They say, "I'm so excited. Thank you." Yeah, looking forward to seeing you there, and you're going to learn a ton. So make sure you bring some notes. I mean, you have your notepad, phone on your or app on your phone, but make sure that you bring all of that. And that you come, prepared to learn, because there's a lot of information, a lot of amazing creators there that that you're going to be talking to that can share a lot of great information. So just be ready for all of that, and congratulations again. All right, so let's answer some more questions, and we'll do another giveaway here in just a little bit.
Yep.
So next up on our list here, we got Food Fun Diary. Oh, okay, we did that one already, I think. Let me confirm. There's a viewership silence. I mean, increasing viewership comes from subscribers and not subscribers. Okay, no, we didn't do this one. Okay, so Food Fun Diary. They've been on YouTube for less than a year. The type of channel is to explore food destinations. And the goal of the channel is to share a food destination and working towards an engaged community and getting monetized. And the question is, if over the last 28 days, the numbers for returning views has increased, does that mean that the increase in viewership comes from subscribers or from non-subscribers who return to view current and new content, or both? So if you got a increase in returning viewers, that means that people are coming back and watching your videos again. They don't necessarily have to be subscribers, but that means that people are coming back to your YouTube channel and watching more videos, or after they watch one video, they are going and watching more videos on the YouTube channel as well. Is Brian G. Johnson in the house?
Brian G?
Somebody just said, they just said something about Brian G. I think he might be.
Nikki said Brian G would love you because it was a poodle channel.
Oh, got it. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, so that's basically just people, coming back and watching more videos, or just continuing to watch more videos in those sessions and whatnot. Let's see here. Next up on our list, we got Camp Brood.
Thanks,
Camp
Mooney.
Brood has been uploading for a year or more. The type of channel is to learn new skills and help others. And the question is, I'm looking to get more efficient growing public watch hours. Everything being equal, would I be better posting shorts, community posts, and long form, or should I reduce the shorts and community to create more long form? Said another way, is YouTube favoring that diverse channel as it's wanting to create a one place for everything platform? YouTube is and always is favoring content that gives their users a good experience on the platform. That's what YouTube favors. So it doesn't matter if that's happening with shorts. It doesn't matter if it's happening with live streams. It doesn't matter if it's happening with video content or a combination of all of those. It's more about, like, are you putting out content wherever it is that you're putting it that people are enjoying? That's the thing that matters to YouTube. It's not like, hey, this channel is doing like all of these things, therefore YouTube is going to show their content to more people. It's not that. How that whole thing works is people that are doing all this stuff, they're leveraging every aspect of opportunity that YouTube is giving them. So what that means is, if you're publishing video content, you're giving yourself the opportunity for the viewer that wants to watch that long form video content and get something out of that. If you are posting community posts, those are great just for kind of bringing people back into the channel, just having interaction. Your YouTube shorts are great for getting in front of viewers that might not have ever seen your long form content, or just new people that may have at one time seen it or whatever, but it's basically great for getting in front of, new people. When it comes to live streams, those also, there's people that love watching and hanging out in live streams. So that gives you the opportunity to make that type of content for that type of viewer. And live streams, just like this one, they also get recommended around YouTube and all that as well. So because of that, people that are using all of the things, they're just they're taking full advantage of the opportunity that YouTube provides in terms of discovery, getting in front of more people, all of that stuff. But as long as you're making quality content, in terms of quality is defined by how people respond to it, not necessarily camera optics. So as long as you're making content that people respond to in a positive way, however it is that you're doing it is fine. And if you want to apply it to another format that you're not currently using, then by all means give it a shot, because that's a whole other opportunity and a whole other audience that you can grow that's into that type of thing. So definitely keep that in mind when it comes to going cross-platform, or not cross-platform, but cross-format. Hey, you want to do another Vid Summit ticket?
Yep, let's do it right now.
I got to step away really quick. And if you want to hold down the fort, and then I'll be back in like 30 seconds.
Hold on 1 second. I got to swap it on. All right, so the word to type in right now, well, the words.
Don't do it yet.
Well, I won't spin it yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to have them type it in. The word to type in right now is Vid Summit 2023, just the way you see it on the screen. Vid Summit 2023. So go ahead and type that in, and I will be taking questions from the chat if anybody has questions. In between typing that in. And no hashtag. So somebody drop a hashtag with that. Weed Gamer 420 says, I wish I can meet Nick in person. Yeah. He will be at Vid Summit. Yeah, and again, only type this in if you can go to Dallas, Texas, and you can actually go to Vid Summit. This is the ticket itself. It's worth around $1,000. This is not for your hotel. This is not for the transportation there. This is for the ticket to the event itself. So go ahead and type that in. See if I can capture something here. Vid Summit 2023. You got it. No hashtag. Yeah, Nick will be at Vid Summit. Nick is speaking at Vid Summit this year. That's right. On fashion with networking, people, is it okay to... Let's see. Going through Vid Summit. You got it. If I want a ticket to go this year, I'm getting drunk as a skunk.
What do you say?
Roger Wakefield says, come to Dallas, Texas. Yeah. After party at Roger's house.
Yep.
Roger is from Texas. Yeah, all sorts of fun over at Roger's house. Yeah, hotels are filling up fast. I saw, I think, was it Daryl that posted it, or maybe it was the Vid Summit Instagram account. They opened up some more rooms, I think, because the hotels were selling out fast. Yeah. There are a couple of hotels.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see what it's like this year.
Yeah. Chantel says, I'd love to be there, but Australia is very far. Yep, I feel your pain. I absolutely feel your pain.
So is the distance?
It's far, man. That's a big
It's far
trip.
from here too. Yeah.
That's a really big trip.
Okay, how many we got in there, D?
They're still bringing them in, 55.
Okay.
So this is a question. Nine Pigs Media says, how many channels can I have before it becomes a dumb thing to do? I now have 3 channels.
Well, it depends. Like, if you can manage them and you have other people that can like help you put them together, things like that, then in that case, 3 is fine. If you are not having any results with anything that you're doing, then in that particular case, focusing on one so that you can work on the skills to get that one going, and then saying, okay, now I know, what people, respond to and how to get people to respond. So now let me start doing some other channels. That's usually like a better way to go. But when you are running 3 different YouTube channels at the beginning, it might seem like not that much, because then you just have to make, like, let's say you do like a video per week for each channel or something like that. In that particular case, it's still 3 videos that you have to publish, but it's not as intense because like the community isn't as big. You're not managing sponsorships. You're not managing like additional business related things around the content. So because of that, it starts out relatively easy, but it can get increasingly more difficult. The way that people handle it when it starts getting more difficult is often people will start hiring people to help with things and stuff like that. So as long as you're open to do that sort of thing, that's fine. But if you are just learning how to do this and all of that, in that particular case, I really recommend that you get really good at one channel for a bit, and then you can get momentum on one channel, and then from there, once you get that, then you start spreading out if you're still interested in doing that.
All right, so now we have...
Speak Spanish Now says, are there mixers after the sessions at Vid Summit? Asking for a friend. Yeah, so how that works is after after this one's a little bit different because it's at the convention center, and then people, after the event will be going to hotels and stuff. But typically how it works is when the event is in a hotel is that, people will hang out in the lobby and stuff like that afterwards. Sometimes we'll stay up like super late, just hanging out and, all that stuff. But here I'm going to guess that once everything is finished for the event at the hotels, that people will go back to the hotels, and there'll probably be individual things. Probably all of the hotel lobbies are just going to be filled with content creators, just like, like any of the other conferences that are at convention centers. The hotel lobby is going to be filled with, other content creators that you're still going to be, continuing to network with and stuff like that. So typically how this works, just for insight for those of you that are that are going for the first time, is one of the amazing things about this, in my opinion anyway, is you are like thinking about content and networking with other people about content pretty much from the time you wake up until the time that you go to bed, which is pretty cool. So basically you wake up and then like you go to like grab breakfast and it's like, oh, hey, there's some creators, let's go talk. And then, you go and you're like talking with some people there. And then, once the event starts, then you're, doing the whole thing there. And then once it's all finished, then you end up going, somewhere else, hanging out in hotel lobbies, stuff like that, hanging out with other people there. And it just keeps going, which is pretty awesome. So what do we got, D? Where are we at?
I usually don't sleep much when we're there.
Yeah, same.
You just get a few hours of sleep while I'm there. 64.
All right. Yeah, let's pull it.
Let's get a couple more in there. Get a couple more before we spin it, because this is the last one we're giving away, right?
Yep.
Today.
For today.
And we'll have more next weekend too, right? Maybe?
Maybe. Yeah, we'll see.
Maybe? All right, we'll get a couple more in there. 64. We get one more, and I'm spinning it. I'm going to spin it. One more. Spin it. Who's it going to be?
Yeah, Shark Scrapper. He went last year. He says the energy is amazing.
Yeah.
It is. It's basically, you get to be in an environment for a few days with like a bunch of creatives. Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome, full of energy, and it's exhausting at the same time.
Yeah, like by the time it's over, you're like, whoo, I am beat. Yeah, totally.
All right, ready? Here we go.
Okay, here we go.
It's spinning. Dorothy Touzon.
She won one Thursday.
What?
Yep, she just won twice.
No way.
So, yep. So, hey, in your particular case.
No way.
Yeah. So if you have like a friend or, somebody that, wants that extra ticket, you got it. So, you won it fair and square. So same thing, just like the last one. I mean, I already have your information, so I can just pass it on as the winner there. But if you could send me a message, because we're already connected on Twitter from the last one. So if you could just shoot me a message and let me know what you want to do with that extra ticket. If you're going to like bring somebody with you as like a +1 or something like that, that's fine. Or if you're like, hey, I put my thing in there, but I don't know if I'll be bringing someone else, whatever. Just like shoot me a message on Twitter and just let me know what it is that you're gonna do there, and then I'll pass that information on to Daryl and his team, and then they will follow up with you from there.
Twice.
Yep. Nailed it.
Who wins
Nailed it.
Twice?
Right. That's like $2,000 worth of Vid Summit tickets. Yeah, that's awesome. Nice work.
Twice.
Yeah,
so
that's great.
When did you win the other one? When you were streaming with Daryl?
Yeah, when I streamed with Daryl on Thursday.
How many did you give away then?
I think we gave away 4, I believe.
You gave away 4 and she won 1.
Yep.
Wow.
So on that note, I want to thank everybody for hanging out in the stream today. I hope that you learned something from the content that is put out today. I do want to remind everybody, first off, make sure you check vidsummit.com for the ticket information there and more information about that if you didn't win. But I do want to remind you, if you are, just getting started on this journey, that when it comes to YouTube, a lot of content creators will get discouraged at the beginning because, maybe they're publishing videos and they're not seeing the results that they expected based on other videos they're watching on YouTube and things like that. But keep in mind that, with this, it's not an easy thing to do, right? And because of that, there are, skills that you have to learn and things that you need to, understand along the way and stuff like that. So if you're at a point right now where you're thinking to yourself like, man, this is like really tough and all of that, I encourage you to hang on and push through it, because if you just embrace where you're at in the learning curve and stop looking at it like, oh, like I got people watching, but people aren't subscribing. Like, it's good that you're identifying those problems, but just remember that, like, where you're at in the learning curve is still like way up here. We're all always still learning. We're just further down the road, right? But where you're at in the learning curve is way back here. And you need to get things, further, there's more you gotta, learn, more videos you gotta publish, things like that. So just embrace where you're at in the learning curve and keep on trucking.
Or keep on riding a scooter.
Or keep riding a scooter or walking. Yeah, keep on walking down that road, I guess.
Walking.
Yeah, keep on walking down that road.
Power walking.
Jogging. Yeah, absolutely. Kind of getting your lungs going, right? Getting some blood pumping.
I miss like keep on trucking. I miss that era.
Do you?
Yeah.
What would that be? The 70s?
I don't know. 70s, early 80s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, like BJ and the Bear.
Yeah.
Smokey the Bandit.
Yeah.
Cannonball Run.
Yeah, I miss those days.
That stuff. Yeah.
Those good times.
Yeah, it's good looking back on them making movies about those times.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Well, D.
Hey, you got a super chat. You got a super chat coming in.
Super
Christine Auto Dealer. Thank you so much for the super chat. Says thank you for your wisdom as always. Hey, thank you so much for the super
thank
chat.
you for the super chat. Glad that you're enjoying the content. D just left me hanging there. D, great stream. Everybody have an awesome rest of your weekend, and we will see you next Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern. Make sure that you check the video description. There's lots of stuff down there for you as well. It's helpful tools for you as a content creator. And make sure you check out D's channel if you haven't already. And have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you next time.
Yep. Thank you, Pristine. Last super chat of the stream.